Welcome to the Dixie Doggers podcast. We're here to share knowledge and heritage. We hope y'all enjoy. For the best cut gear in the business, get with Dave Williams at Southern Cross Cut Gear. www.hogdoggear.com.
If you're buying or selling land, farms, or hunting property, these folks know land. Phil Wilson with UC Hunting Properties. 678-791-3483.
777 Kennels, Advanced K9 Nutrition. Vertex K9 Essentials, Advanced K9 Nutrition, beneficial to all breeds. You can contact them at 979-206-3050.
All right, everybody. We're back with another episode of Don't Run with Lite Hounds. Our deer tracking slowed down over here in southern Oklahoma and North Texas, and I got a couple fellas on, Taylor Bell and Michael Moore. We've had them on the podcast before. We figured we'd get together tonight and kind of do a recap of the season now that we can catch our breath. So here we are.
Cool. So you guys y'all had a busy season, it sounds like.
Michael Dancer did.
Yeah. No, it's best
Our
season I've
season's
had,
still
for sure.
Our season's still going. I think it ends the 15th. Bow season ends.
And they're in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Texas general season's over, and we still got doe and spike, and I think maybe youth now.
Yeah, you're still going
youth
on.
season, but it's just for like a week, right? Week
Right.
or 2 weeks. Yeah.
The entire thing ends January 18th.
Okay. So, and then if you're lucky to have MLD properties, you can hunt till the end of February, but those are real few and far between up here.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, we're finally slowing down. Hell, I got to break out the pig dogs the other day for a morning, and that was just a breath of fresh air. Didn't have nobody there to please. Could just relax. It was nice.
Hell yeah. I'll be glad to get to break our pig dogs out, man. They don't even know what a pig is right now.
I got it. My first group of hog hunters were here January 2nd. And so my pig dogs went from not being used to here we go, just right off the bat.
Yeah.
How many guys did you have?
Well, there was six altogether, but they brought half the group was there. They brought us side by side and to haul everybody around. And there's a couple of buddies brought their kids, but they weren't kids. They were like in college.
I got you.
But we caught a couple good pigs right off the bat, and then it got hot, and we caught one more, and we were done pretty early.
Yeah, it sounds
I
like
broke mine out there.
80 degrees on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day over here.
It was 88 here today. I ran a deer 4 miles today, and it was 80 degrees. Yeah.
We're real dumb for January.
Jeez.
I know.
I broke mine out the first time the other day and got about everything busted up. So I'm out a couple more weeks, probably.
Sounds like a good hunt.
5 miles from the house, too. I just made a quick run and shot a pretty good hog. He was rough.
Tell us about that video I got. You freaking, all I seen is your ass in a mud hole.
No, that was his butthole. Did you say his butthole?
He had pants on, but it might have been.
I guess the other day isn't my first time out because I went then. That was about a week ago, so I guess I've been out twice.
What was the deal with that?
It's a little ranch I hunt out here out west of the house, and it's just a cattle ranch. And I started hunting it the end of last season. I ran a hog a couple sections over and bait on that place, and I didn't know what to do. The gate was open, so I just went in, and old man was in there feeding. And luckily, I talked to him, and he used to run dogs in Texas years ago, and man, he kind of gave me full permission over the place, and it's been probably my best place I've ever got.
Hmm.
They feed a bunch of yearlings there and them hogs. I mean, they just love them self feeders. I don't know. We bait a couple sows and caught one, and then she broke and she was bait at the edge of a hole. And I sent the bulldog. He was in a bad spot. I couldn't lead him down there. And it wasn't a sow, it was a boar. And he pulled him up in that hole. But I don't know how far it was. It's far enough that I was looking around with my headlight before I went in there. Big hole. I mean, I could stand up in it and walk. I walked in there 10, 15 foot probably.
Damn.
Your feet, wasn't it? Or like right there close?
Say it again. What'd you say?
Below your
Ricky?
feet? Gosh damn, can you hear me?
Below my feet. Like,
Yeah, you
how
said there
deep
was
it was?
water. Wasn't there a creek right there on the edge?
Oh, yeah. It was like a spring. I guess the hole was there from a spring coming off the side of this big hill. And, man, it was just ankle deep in mud. It was just nasty, horrible.
I Snapchat of Taylor's ass buried up in this hole with pigs squealing. I didn't know what was going on.
Luckily, he had turned head away from me by the time I got in there. I don't know. If he was head up to me, I guess I'd have just grabbed him by the ear. I don't know what I'd have done, really. Yeah, I guess I could have got a leash on the bulldog and yanked him out, but the hole wasn't big enough I could get around to the side of him or nothing.
Sounds like a tough spot.
I've heard of people baying them up in holes like that before, but I've been hunting all my life. That would be the first time I've ever done that.
Shit, we get them in caves, mine shafts. I mean, all these bluffs, under boulders. I mean, like a boulder that's as big as a house. You're liable to have to climb down. It's 6-7 foot opening in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes down to nothing. And you got to get in that hole. It's probably anywhere from 10 to 30, 40 foot deep. Yeah. That sucks.
We don't have much of that. We just got a lot of briar thickets, I guess.
Y'all got some wild country up there.
All the briar thickets are on top.
Yeah, they're on top.
They clear cut all the flat land and made it all cut over, so that's where all the briars are, up top.
So you got to wade through briars
to get to mountains.
Head high to fall off a damn cliff to go in a cave. It's to get the one hog on 3,000 acres. Yeah.
Uphill both ways.
It's interesting. There's no doubt.
There's a boy I'm friends with.
Had caught. No, go ahead, Bill.
There's a boy I'm friends with on Facebook. I can't think of his name, but he hunts up around the Arkansas area. Y'all see that big boar he caught? If y'all said his name, I know it. I bet y'all are friends with him. He's hunting up there in the mountains of Arkansas and caught like a 350-pound boar hog. I mean, solid, not a fat boar hog. I mean, all there boar
like
hog.
A bear.
Yeah, that's the way ours are, man. They're all just like you said. They're solid. The front end will be real thick, and around their waist, like some of them you can damn near just reach around with both, like just grab their waistline with both hands. Yeah. But at the front, they'll be 250 pounds. It's all right in the front, and they're rough. Like, I'm trying to think of who that would have been.
I saw it today. I don't know who. I can't remember who it was.
In North Arkansas. Like, we hunt with a guy named Braxton Sultan. We went and hunted with him. He caught a pretty good one the other day, but it wasn't 350.
Yeah, he would have been.
Oh, he would have been fucking calling me.
Would have known.
He would have said, "Dad, look at this hog I caught."
Mm-hmm.
You sent that the other day, Bill.
Right here it is. Oh, Dylan Rippey and Bubba Samuels.
Okay, I know Bubba. Yeah, I know Bubba. I don't know Dylan, I don't guess. But I know who Bubba is.
Yeah, they have good looking dogs anyways, but man, they caught a boar hog the other day that just hard to beat.
I think any boar hog for me right now would be hard to beat. Anything.
We caught an 80-pounder the other day, and I was fired up. Boy.
I'd have been taking pictures. I'd have propped that stick in his mouth, son. Long armed him.
Made a reel out of it. Fuck, yeah.
Or I'd have just stole a picture from like Rusty or one of them and put it on there and said, "Look at what I caught." So how many deer did we get this year, guys? Let's hear that. I want to hear how many damn deer y'all tracked. Let the lies begin.
Start north.
More needs to go last.
Yeah. Go ahead, Taylor.
Damn.
He's north. We got to start north and work our way down.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. Go ahead. Shit.
I've recovered 69. I'm hoping to get 70. I got 10 days left, and I'm willing to take about anything to get one more track. But I think I've taken right at 110 tracks. A lot of them tracks are, again, I feel like every tracker is going to say the same, but I get bored and take stuff I shouldn't. But sometimes I get lucky and find deer that nobody would have taken. Arrows look clean, so you just give or take there. I think I've loaded 69. This is my best year. And the thing about this year was usually I'm hustling up tracks. I'll drive 2 hours for tracks, like especially if it's like a weekday and I probably am not going to get nothing else. But this year, I don't think I drove 2 hours for one way. I think the furthest I went was an hour and a half, like a couple times. That's it. Everything,
y'all been
all of my
freaking
tracks.
flooded.
Yeah, all of my tracks have been under an hour. I mean, like I can't tell you how many tracks I've had this year in my own. I've had more tracks this year in my own county than I have every year I've been tracking put together.
Words out.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
Now they.
Yeah, that's not people. That's not buddies neither. That's people I don't know. I don't like my buddies and stuff. I don't usually I won't count them in that. I'll count it as a recovery if they actually need me. But like I have buddies that'll call me that don't need me, and I'll show up, and I don't count that. But if I show up and they got guts dragging, then I'm gonna count that.
Oh yeah.
Taylor's been flooded with dogs and drones up there this year, like unbelievable.
Yeah,
so,
that drone deal slowed down a bunch this year from last year, though, didn't it, Taylor?
Yeah, it did. Well, see,
there's more of them though. Like there's just it's like a chain or like a pyramid scheme. Like there's one dude that is like the head of a bunch of them, and he like has little, I don't know what you call them, nerds across the country that that gives drones to.
Little dronies.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But they're all under a couple umbrella. Like it's like this little group of codes that have robots, and it's like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't even know how to afford it.
Got all his little dronies.
All of them put together times 5 couldn't have the knowledge about tracking a wounded deer that I have. I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, dude. How many did you follow up this year? Did you keep count, or I mean, there's got to be.
Yeah, several of them, but and there's several that I followed up that I didn't know about until later. I had several drone guys being nice this year and asking me. I had a guy who flies for that particular person you're talking about. His own deer called me for a track, and it's like, man, I know I'm gonna need you, and I'm like, I just can't. It just doesn't make any common sense to me. Our issue in Oklahoma is the money issue is a lot different in Oklahoma than it is in Texas. People don't want to pay near as much. Like, it's harder to find people. Everybody wants you to do it for free, which I get it, and I help people out. But the drone guys will come in and tell them this whole story and say, yeah. Well, they'll come in, find a gut shot deer laying down, and they'll charge them, as they should. I mean, they should charge them. They're showing up. They got their time invested. And they'll take their money and leave. They won't come back the next day. They'll just tell them to come back in the morning to find their deer. Well, they won't come back the next day and finish the job. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They also count it as a recovery. Anytime they put a camera on a deer, don't matter if it's live, dead, or like a shoulder punch that's going to live forever. They count that as a recovery, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, I'd have a
deer on the tailgate.
I'd have a lot more recoveries this year if I counted everything we kicked out of bed and chased to a property line we couldn't pursue. Or
Yeah, you found him. Hell.
Yeah, we found him. I mean, we got a bunch of those that we found, and we'll run it.
Can't stop them.
We'll run it 2 miles to the neighbor, and like, did we have permission to go there? Right? No, I didn't think the deer would go that way. I didn't call that guy. We can't go over there. Well, we're done. But if we could have pursued it, we'd have had him.
Yeah, or it's a flesh wound, but you found the damn deer. You did your job. It's not your fault that the deer wasn't mortally wounded. That's what they're counting. Hell, we'd be 90 percentile if we did that.
Oh, for sure. I bet I had 10 or 15 deer that were a broke leg or gut or liver shot that we let lay for 8 to 12 hours and go kick them out of bed and run them to a property line, and we absolutely cannot get permission. And I'll call the game wardens, and they can't get us permission.
They can't give you permission. Yeah, they can't.
They can't give us permission, and I don't know. It is what it is. Can't do it. Don't count it. It's just another track we took, but not a recovery.
Yeah,
and there is a couple of those drone guys. There's one here local, and the other one I'm talking about there. I think I found 3 deer for him in the past. They're really cool. They're good to me, man. Like, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the Facebook hero drones. Like those are the ones that get on there and snipe your calls. And
yeah, that's really shitty there. I've seen a lot of that, and I don't understand, like you said, how those guys can, they'll snipe your calls, and then they're going to charge whatever the rate is. But like you said, if they call and want me to come track, they're going to gripe about whatever amount of money is. Most of them are, especially if there's no recovery. But the drone guys, they charge a lot more, from what I've seen here.
And for a good recovery dog, the drone's not going to do anything that the dog can't do. The dog's going to do a lot that the drone can't do. That's why I just don't get it.
Can't justify it either. No, I think the problem in Oklahoma is the laws are you can't dispatch a wounded deer, blah, blah, blah. Well, I think what the drone guys are telling them is like, hey, if this dog comes and jumps your deer, can't do nothing about it, but we can fly over his head, mark him, and y'all can come back tomorrow. Which I had a
the cows are going to get on him before they get there the next morning. And he ain't going to be there no more.
That's possible. Sometimes they're there, but there was a couple that I followed up this year. They marked the spot. Well, they got there, and there's no deer there. And then we come in and track it from where they seen it last. But it's. I don't know.
Coyotes had jumped it, and
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say coyotes had jumped it in the middle of the night before it was real sick and run it several hundred yards, and ate it alive.
But you're going to hear a lot of shit.
It should have.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. We keep doing it.
Oh no! I was just saying, like on a deal like that, the best option is have dogs come in, bay the deer. You come in and dispatch the deer. That way, coyotes don't get on it and eat it alive. Because that's the worst thing to have happen. That's wasted game and inhumane and unethical.
And in Oklahoma, it's different because of the laws. But if you just get on Facebook and look, this drone deal's been a thing for 2 years, pretty much. If you get on Facebook and look, and just say you come to my page and you look at my page, and you're like, or there's a couple other guys in Oklahoma that's found a high number of deers. This guy's loaded 50, 60 plus head a year, every year for 4 years with the same dog. The same way with more, Moore's numbers are bigger than that. Okay, I think that our smartest decision here is to call him and let him tell us what to do instead of calling a drone and have him come out right away.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, I speak for myself and a lot of others. 9 out of 10, I've gotten pretty good. I mean, I haven't been doing it half as long as like these two guys. Even me, I can usually tell you how long with your broadhead and the circumstance, everything goes on. I can give you a pretty good time limit. of how long to wait, that's safe, and then you want to gamble. I can tell you that. These guys don't know. The gut shot, oh, we'll go now, or, it's just crazy.
They're going as soon as they can because they don't care if they find it dead or they find it alive, because it's a recovery if they find it. And if it's alive, it's still a recovery to them, and they still charge the same money because they found it.
Yeah, it's
But it
just
doesn't
them
put the
finding
deer
it.
on the tailgate. And if you know what you're doing, you don't go after a gut shot in 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like, it's just don't make no sense. But yeah, I'm more thankful that it's not legal here in Texas. I hope it never is, because God Almighty. And it's not the fact that somebody's going to come find some deer over here that I could have found. It's the fact that somebody picked up a Game Boy controller with zero experience on tracking deer and is coming around and finding a handful here and there with zero knowledge on what's going on. I say that they might be deer hunters and they have a clue. I mean, I track more deer in a year than most 10 people will in a lifetime. And it's just there's an amount of knowledge that you learn and put together to make a successful approach to every track that that's not a thing with the damn drone. It's just, I'm sure we're preaching the choir to everybody, but anybody on here is probably going to agree. But
yeah, there's going to be a few that they have drones, and I know they listen, and some of them are hog hunters, but at the same time, it's like those guys. There's a difference in doing it for getting data, or as a job. Say if you manage a big ranch or something like that,
100%.
That's different. If you have a thermal drone to go find hogs so you can dump your dogs on them, that's not a dog hunter.
That's puppy training.
You know what I mean? It's like that's just not. And I'm totally different. Like, and ever to each their own. But at the same time, the way the drone recovery thing has fell over into the deer hunting, it's doing the same thing in the hog hunting world too. Like I said, those guys are using that, and I get it. Like I said, but if you're making a dog, that's a totally different deal. But I know some guys right now, like you said, they haven't even been deer hunting but 3 or 4 years, and now they have drones and they're going out taking tracks, taking calls. So, like, I see exactly what you're saying. Like, they don't have enough experience to know that a gut shot deer, you need to give it time. Just a gut shot deer is going to die. Just give it time. You can't go in there and push him. But that's what they'll do. They just go in there and fly over them. But I don't think those drones see it. I just don't see where they see everything.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Quick thanks to the supporters of the Dixie Doggers podcast.
Lite Hounds.
Southern Cross Cut Gear.
Phil Wilson with UC Hunting Properties.
Rankin Ranch 38 Cattle Company.
777 Kennels Advanced Canine Nutrition.
And the old Boars N Broads. I mean,
well, here's the big issue up here is, and I know this, and I don't mean to throw anybody under the bus, but I've tracked for a lot of people that have big ranches that have these big nice drones, and man, if you're in open country, like out west of here, like in Oklahoma, open country would be west. It's incredible what you can do during the rut, or what you can do to hogs. Man, you can haze hogs to you. Like, seriously, you can. I mean, I've done it I got done tracking, and the guy had it, and there's a couple does out there about a half mile off, and he said, watch, and he come down, and he hazed them does right to us. And they never ran. Now he knew what he was doing. He stayed up just high enough that they were curious, but a little scared. And if you start adding that up over hundreds of people per, in a 10-year span, it's like the number of deer and hogs that are going to get killed and animals by the drones is just crazy. Like, it's nothing out in good country to go find if you got 180 and he's with a doe, he's probably going to be up on a bald hill somewhere. You go find him. Next thing you know, here comes Joe Blow over the hill after him.
See, here we
I
can't.
think that's why Texas didn't do it. Yeah, well, you're not. You can't do it in Oklahoma either.
Yeah.
But they're going to do it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean,
I agree. They do it here. It's not legal, but it happens.
Oh, guarantee it.
But here, I'm gonna shit on the drones right quick. One last time. We had a 4-year-old little boy go missing the other day here in our county. We had a bunch of volunteers that were prepared to go help search and find and all this, dogs, the whole 9 yards. They said, nope, we have professionals with drones. That baby died.
Oh God.
Okay, now listen to this, though. It was 20 degrees. And they were like, well, here's the explanation. I was like, well, when it's that cold, you can't see him. His dog was alive and there with him. So what's the excuse?
They couldn't find the dog.
So what's the excuse? Yeah. So if that drone's that damn good,
why not do all of them together? I mean,
yeah, the drone's not gonna. Well, I didn't have dogs on the ground and then a drone flying too.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying in general, you know what I mean? If these deer hunters have that much faith in this drone and they're selling it and all these guys are buying into that, just look at that story right there, Walker County, Alabama. This just happened last week. I mean,
a kid that doesn't know to hide underneath a brush pile like a deer and a pig does.
Bro, he's laying in the edge of a pond on the bank.
God.
They think the dog had actually drug him back out. It's horrible. But it was the second day.
That should have stuck out like a sore thumb.
No shit. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I'm at with it. So fuck a drone. I'm sorry, but I mean that in the best way.
That's ridiculous. In that scenario, you should have every possible tool in the box out on the ground.
Regardless, they were on
crazy
Facebook.
To think that.
They were like, "Hey, this is what's going on. If y'all see our kid," I'm like, "Bro, first off, I would.
You can kiss my ass. I'm sending everything."
Exactly. Exactly. My wife, she knew we had dogs and stuff. She come in there. She said, "Can y'all take dogs and go?" Yep. I said, "If they'll let us go, we're headed that way." And then they were like, "Oh no, we're not asking. We can't have any help right now because we have the officials here and they got the drones out and all that." Like, bro,
that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that's the dumbest shit.
If you want to get down to the nitty gritty, I'd bet my last dollar that one of the drone operators says, "We don't need other things walking around out here when we're finding people." Well, me walking around with a dog.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Walking around in the woods with a dog, you can obviously tell I'm not a child laying there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened with that. And that's what happened up here. We had the same situation a couple years ago. They didn't know if the guy drowned. It was a long story, a missing guy. They found him dead, but they had asked me, one of the family members, or maybe a friend of the family had messaged me, asked me to bring a dog. And I was like, well, I'm not telling you I can find nobody, but if there's a person hiding or laying somewhere and I'll walk by it with my dog, she's going to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up telling me, and it was, 20 miles from here, and they ended up telling me, no, they had drones. Same thing.
Mm.
And they didn't find him with the drone. They found him. It was a different story than yours, but still same concept.
I think they said this was it was around 2 miles from the house.
If it's my kid, every guy and dog and drone better be out there.
I would have kicked that.
That's what I would want.
I'd have turned all of them loose. And first off, like they said, oh, well, the dog's with him. I was like, well, how many dogs have you seen that didn't come back home?
Yeah.
There's so much wrong with this stuff. Now we done got going down this rabbit. If y'all ever get to looking on weird stuff or anything, look up the county I live in. It will blow your mind. Bro, I'm not playing. Like, that's just little stuff. I mean, our sheriff hired a bunch of people that aren't even APOS certified. That's our police force. And like, he was under indictment and running for re-election. Like, this son of a bitch, it's crazy. And like, I don't know how many people. There's been more people died in jail than's been out of jail.
Whoa!
Oh, bro, it's wild. It's something. It's something. And they're all innocent. Okay. As far as I know, they're all innocent. I stand by that. I stand by that. But it's some wild stuff, man. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh man. But anyway, like you said, there's so many things that you can do. I feel like you can do more with the dog than you can that drone.
100%.
Dog's been a hunting tool since the beginning of time.
Yes,
and it's not going anywhere. It's not going. It hasn't went anywhere thus far. You know, the drones will come and go just like everything else.
Yeah, you can't bay a wounded animal with a drone. And just because you find a wounded animal with a drone, don't mean you can sneak in there and shoot it in its bed either.
Exactly. That's what they should make a requirement. If you're a drone operator for wounded game recovery, then you should have to be able to go in with no dog or nothing and track that animal. You have to leave the drone in the air. You have to go in there, and that's easy because you just got a signal, right? The bat signal. But you have to go in there.
It'll drop you a pin on it.
Yeah, you have to go in there and dispatch that animal.
Yeah,
you have to do that. And
I mean, if they don't, it's wasted game.
Yeah, and
there you go.
I agree. Yeah, and secondly, if you go in there and all you're doing is flying that drone, and here you can't pursue game at any time with any electronic devices of any type. And so of course, what are the deer trackers saying with the drones? They're saying, "Oh well, we're just looking for them." No, that's the pursuit. And I've went through this with our game wardens. I couldn't tell you how many times. If you go to a hunting stand and sit in a blind with me, you're required to have a hunting license, even if you don't use a gun or a camera or anything. If you're just sitting there, that's the pursuit.
Yep.
So I'm like, well,
I'm in the same boat with cell cams. Like, I'm not against cell cams because I use them, but in another 10 years, I think you're gonna see the size of deer deplete. They start getting smaller and smaller. It's gonna take years, but I mean, you can't tell me cell cams hasn't caused a lot of,
kill one last
big
year.
Deer to
I
be
would have
killed.
never known.
I don't want to talk about cell cameras because I've had a bad experience. And it was yesterday. So I didn't know. So I'm all excited, and I've got this deer working a scrape line that's unreal. This son bitch is 2 miles long. I'm like, yeah. He's a big boy. And I get one picture. I get pictures one night of him 2 months ago. And I said, that's him. And you could barely see him. I said, that's him. And for here where we're at, he is going to be an absolute stud. And yesterday morning, we had talked about taking a childhood friend of Nate's. Well, I mean, they're best friends now, but like he's been knowing him, ever since they went to school together, grew up together. He's never killed a good deer. So Nate told me, he was like, "Dad, you take and personally guide him." And I was like, okay. So they didn't make it yesterday morning. So no big deal, whatever. I'm talking to my uncle, and I come back in the house and I sit down. Nate got up, we're in there, we're drinking a cup of coffee. I said, well, let's check the camera and see what's happening. Oh, he's standing there, bro. Just standing there. This son of a bitch is eating. I'm like, what? Like, they never come to a feed pile or a feeder or nothing here. Like, they're scared of it. Oh, no, he's dogging does. Got pictures of him just frolicking. Not running. This son of a bitch is frolicking. So what do you think happened? Oh, yeah, I'm gone.
Blew him out of there.
Yeah.
I'm gone. I said, okay, look here. I have a large percentage of Native American in me. I can get this deer. So I'm on a park a mile down the road, and I'm going to come around this ridge. I got the wind working right, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I told Nathan about a month ago, I said, I wanted to kill this deer with a recurve or maybe a stick and a rock, whatever. I said, there's one spot I know I can kill him. I said, but it's going to be like a 10-foot shot. Like, that's how close he's going to be. And when I put my foot in that 10-foot opening, that son bitch put his foot in there at the same time. Oh, my God. And I just literally sat down and put my head in my hands. I said, I will not run another cell camera. I'm not doing that shit no more. That's the most heartbreaking stuff I've ever had happen. And I don't even like deer hunting. But it broke my heart.
Done the same thing 3 years ago.
So do you think he's on camera tonight? Hell no.
No. That was the one shot.
Should have had a drone, boys. I'd have found him.
You could have dropped a net on him out of the drone.
I literally, when I was driving home, I was like, that is the stupidest, most childish rookie mistake that has ever been made.
So y'all are talking about the drone usage and like, you know, the killing of the deer and stuff like that. So I talk a good bit with several people who are in the private wildlife removal business. And there was one company that I had done, and I was talking to some of their employees, and I was talking to one of their drone operators, and he's like, yeah, you know, drones are just getting so precise now and so stable, and they have some very high caliber drones. They got some of the $40,000 and $50,000 ones, you know, they weigh like 12, 20 pounds. And like, he's like, yeah, so the next project we're really working on is kind of figuring out a drop system for explosives. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, you get like a sounder of hogs or like a group of deer, and you just drop an explosive and kill it. He was like, in the correct scenario where it would work. And I was like, God damn. Oh, is that like here? And he was like, yeah, like they're working on that. He's like, oh, they already do it in the military. And I was like, yeah, just like they do a lot of things in the military, like, and a lot of them we shouldn't know about. And he was like, yeah, now they're working on getting like being able to have like guns basically mounted on them, especially on the larger ones. And, you know, like with AI, you have like an artificial tracking system, you know, it can render an image of a deer and be like, that's the deer, kill that son of a bitch, you know, and like can distinguish between species and stuff like that. Now, I don't know how far that is. That could come out next year. That could come out in 20 years, but it's not that far. So to add, there is a legitimate concern. And if somehow some crazy son of a bitch, like in the private sector, got that and was just like, I am the king poacher. Like, you can do and some
they can.
Like, because I've seen some guys and heard of some people poaching with thermals that like they were very good at it.
Yeah.
Like they were extremely good at it. And after getting a thermal, and like especially like open country areas like where y'all are at, like thermals don't work good here because we have so much foliage, but like out there, you can just fuck shit up.
Yeah.
You can just fuck shit up, legitimately.
It's pretty rough.
So I just wanted to add that tidbit. I've been thinking about that.
Well, now they can dispatch the deer, boys.
Yeah. He's right here. Drop a grenade on him.
Hell, they can't even find the
I've been watching some pretty cool videos over in Russia. I will say those Ukrainians have gotten pretty damn good with them. They are good for that.
Yeah.
That's crazy how they use that what's it called, the microfiber
what is all that shit?
And they just string it out for miles and then just leave it. Crazy.
Like spider web.
Mm-hmm.
Those videos of them just honing into a little girl.
You don't want lag though while you were in the middle of war, so I do understand. I would not rely on a wireless connection that could be EMP'd to some magnitude.
Hell no. I say outlaw drones.
We need to get Trump on board. I need to email him.
We need to call Trump.
You got to get Little Trump Jr. He's hunts.
Oh, he's about it. He's about it.
Yeah.
He's about it.
So, I mean,
it's more ethical. We got all the reasons why.
Mm-hmm. All right, I got us on a whole nother
that was a nice forever.
But it happens. It happens. All right, now, we was talking about how many deer y'all caught. and somebody lied and said like 700 or something, and then, I don't know.
Well, this is one of the busiest year and best year I've ever had too, and we tracked 112 and tailgated 75. So, one of the best years and most busy. Best numbers, and left a few in the woods. It is what it is. Happens every year. But overall, I think out of the 40 whatever that we didn't find, I know at least 25 of them were back on camera. So I mean, it's pretty good odds, and we had some little trials and tribulations at the beginning of the year, but we ended strong, and it was good. It was awesome. I got another young dog started, and she's showing some good promise, and she's out of the same bloodline that my main dog is out of, and I'm real excited about her. We'll see. She's just on that verge, but she's 15 months old, so still very much a puppy in my mind, and but showing out. So I'm real excited about her.
How many days a season is y'all's, Ricky?
How many days?
Yeah, I had that so you can see for
Ooh,
reference.
shit. Well, let me look. It's gotta be. Oh, we started on the 27th this year, didn't we, Michael? September?
Yeah. You know what? That's the only thing I didn't figure on my books was I was keeping up with that all the way up until this last month on how many days I actually went to track.
I know usually the first 30 days I average a deer a day. This year it was the first 50 days I added average a deer a day. I do
Oh,
keep up with that.
I did the rough math, and it's like 14 weeks. What's that? Uh, roughly a
Well,
hundred days. Roughly 100 days of regular season.
Yeah, but how many days did you go track?
Oh gosh, damn, I don't know.
Will you figure that?
That would take me a minute to figure out. I'd say 100
less
days.
than.
I was probably tracking, I don't know, 60 or 70. I don't know, more than that. Really.
Do either of y'all keep up with total number of calls? I've never done that, and I say I'm
Calls?
going to.
No, gosh, damn, that would be hard.
Oh,
I
it'd be
I
incredible.
started to. I was keeping up through the first. How long did that last? It didn't last. It didn't last very long. I was keeping up with how many calls I turned down. So, opening day of archery season, I took 3 and turned down 4, and I loaded all 3 that I took, and all 4 of them showed back up on camera that I turned down. Second day I took.
That's not luck. That's knowledge.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the only. I mean, if I feel like the best odds are you save your money and I save my dog's energy, that deer's going to be back on camera. That's what we're doing.
You were slow at the first of the year. I thought, boy, I'm going to spank Michael's butt this year, and you caught me at the end big time.
Surpassed all our asses.
I think the smartest thing I've done out of 12 years of doing this commercially is when I started keeping my books last year and keeping hard numbers on everything, because you can go back and look, because I mean you go a week and you can't remember what the hell you did.
And it's so hard though, like
you
them
write it
days that are
down.
busy.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean that one week in December when was that in December? Like the first week or something, I loaded like 18 deer in 7 days. That's pretty hard to keep up with.
Oh, yeah.
I've got rough time since 2018. I kept number of calls, type of call, and find or whatever, or not find. But I don't have like the distance of the track or any of that shit. But
Yeah, I keep up with all of that. I got it, which y'all know that. I got it broke down into categories of yards and the
Let's hear
numbers
that,
on each
Mike.
one. You want to hear all the numbers?
let's hear it.
Yeah, just you don't have to say total recovered though. Be okay.
So under 300 yards was 23. 301 to 500 yards was 9. 501 to 800 yards was 16. 801 to 1 mile was 21. 1 mile to 2 mile was 16. 2 mile to 3 mile was 5. 3 mile to 4 mile was 3. And over 4 miles was 4. And that's the recoveries.
Nice.
With 97 loaded.
Hell yeah.
And I bayed and shot 45 of them.
Yeah, 45 deer drones would have left in the woods.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
What'd you bay this week? Go ahead and bring that up. Both of them.
Let me see.
Not the deer. What else did you bay up this week?
Wildebeest, eland, an all-dad last week.
And you know what an eland is?
Do what?
I was asking Joey and Nathan, y'all know what an eland is?
Oh, yeah.
I believe so.
Yes, sir.
Michael's got a pretty cool video.
Pretty good video of that.
And what was the deal? Oh, we won't get into that. Never mind.
Moore couldn't see over his back. That's what was funny. The video was lower than his back.
He's looking at
Woodrow.
Nutsack.
Woodrow weighs like 90 to 93 pounds fit. And he looked like a chihuahua behind that son of a bitch.
That was cool. You found that, and what did you find last year? That weird looking son of a bitch. What was that? After season? That orange thing with the broke horn.
Bongo. That was 2 years ago.
Bongo.
Oh.
But he wasn't.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, but he was dead. We didn't bay him.
Well, I know, but it's still cool.
I mean, it is cool. Yeah. I mean, tracking shit like that's cool. It's real cool when they're alive and you bay them. But just finding them. I mean, those bongo, that's a $50,000 animal to shoot it. So imagine the hunter sweating that. What's the best odds of recovery for this thing? Call a dog. It's a $50,000 animal.
Position.
I don't know. It's a big animal. You could probably find it through a drone underwater behind a tree. Easy.
I mean, on something like that, you could find it, but if it's still alive, you can't do nothing with it. Just like that eland. I mean, they could have found that big son of a bitch in the brush, but what are you going to do then? You can't sneak up in the brush and shoot him. It took me and Woodrow chasing him through the brush, and I shot him in the ass again. And then Woodrow bait him till he bedded, and then I shot him again.
Do you know what animals like that have interdigital glands? Do any of them? I know elk.
Eland does not, and an aoudad does not. So when they called me about the eland, and they said we can hire a thermal drone because it's an exotic on a high fence ranch, so I think it's legit to do that.
It's legal in Texas to do high fence shit, I think.
Right. So, I don't know. It ain't on a whitetail, I bet, but it is on exotics.
I think it is, actually.
So it might be. So the conversation that I had with the outfitter on this deal was the thermal drone, because they went in and looked a little bit. They knew not to go screw it up. So they went in and looked a little bit, and they said, we can't find any blood. And I said, okay. I said, well, they don't have an interdigital gland. So he said, and he shot him in the shoulder with a 28 Nosler, and they knew he did. I mean, guns on, guy's a good hunter, all that. Shot him square in the shoulder with a 28 Nosler. Just a bad choice of shot placement's all it was. So, but there was like 10 or 12 of those eland right there. So they didn't know exactly which direction he went. They kind of all scattered and it was on a brush line. They were eating alfalfa hay. So the outfitter called me and told me what the deal was. And he said, we can get a thermal drone. And I said, yeah, you can, but if he's still alive, you can't do nothing besides find him and know where he's at. And then you would need me to bring a dog to come bay him so we can kill him anyway. So save the drone, have him in your pocket, unless you want to tag team it, which I bet the hunter doesn't want to pay for both of us. So let me come try it with the dog, and then if we can't do it with the dog, we can do the drone deal, or y'all can do the drone deal. Because an eland does not have interdigital gland. I Googled it. I didn't know if they did or not. Some animals do, some don't. Eland does not. I have no idea how or why, but Woodrow hit this track, and they gave me like here's the pile of hay. This is where all the eland were. We think he went left and crashed out. We thought we heard him go down. That's where we looked. Perfect. Best case scenario is he went the other way and y'all didn't go over there and bump it and mess the track up. Woodrow tracks this thing 0.61 mile in like 12 minutes or something and kicks him out of bed. And I hear, it's a 14 or 1,500 pound animal that's gimping around, so I can hear him. I was like, we're on
Woodrow's like,
yeah, he was like, what the hell? He bumped out of the brush and looked at me and looked back and looked at me again. I was like, yeah, let's go. So off we went. So Woodrow's getting ahead of him, and I can see him hobbling off through the brush. And I run around just where I get enough open just to put a sling of 30-30 in his ass. And he goes over there another 20 yards or something and lays up, and he lays down. I'm like, hell of a deal. So I let Woodrow bang for a minute, and I shoot him. And he jumps up and goes another 15 yards or something and bays a minute and then lays down and dives. And the whole deal didn't take 20 minutes.
keep in mind, too, for everybody listening, these animals he's talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, but that eland's not going to live, correct?
He was crippled. So that 28 nozzler, and I know an Aoudad's tough, and this is the first eland I've ever put my hands on. We walked after I went back and got the hunters and all the everybody that was waiting for me and Woodrow to do our thing. We get back over to the eland that's now dead, and he's reaching with his finger and pulling bullet fragments out of the skin of the shoulder of this eland that he shot. 28 nozzler from pretty damn close range. It didn't even break his shoulder. But it doesn't matter if he's going to live or not. He shot him. He owns him.
Yeah.
No, it's not like a wild deer that's,
Well, that's what I was getting at. You're not just running whitetail and killing them for people. Me and you know that, but everybody listening doesn't.
Yeah, you can't do that. A dog is not, the way I explain this to everybody, especially after that video that I posted on Facebook, because there are people blowing it up still every day. It's got over 2 million views. Dang. And just climbing. But if a deer will hold bay to one dog, a herd of coyotes is going to eat that deer alive. 100% of the time. Every single time. There's no doubt about it. I tracked a leg shot deer yesterday morning that a guy let lay overnight, didn't know where he hit him, didn't know any details, couldn't explain anything to me. We went yesterday morning, and within 18 minutes, Woodrow's chewing on the deer 1.35 miles away, got a broke leg, and the coyotes had killed him and ate him alive. Ate the guts out of him, ate him alive. Ran him down, ate him alive.
Damn.
Story from the other day.
That's crazy.
Do what?
Michael's seen this a couple times. I've never seen it, but the other day we get called for a girl's first deer. We don't really know. They're telling me the story, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, go back to the shot site and see if there's any hair or bone, and let me know. Well, he sends me a picture of a 1-inch long shard of bone. I said, all right, we're on our way. And anytime you find bone on the ground, 99% of the time it's a leg shot, which is a deer that's not going to be hitting in the vitals, but it's a broke leg, so it's a deer that's going to get caught by coyotes or caught by us, one or the other. And we turned out Huck went, I don't know, maybe 800, 900 yards, and he's bayed, and they're bumping and running. They're doing like a little 50-yard bay, 50-yard bay, 100-yard bay, and then I'm easing over there, and I run up. What the shit? And there's two animals baying this deer, and I'm like, what is that? Well, there's a coyote with Huck, and they're running circles around this deer like a fucking team, baying the piss out of it. Of course, the coyote's not making any noise, but it was funny as shit. It was like they were working together on the damn deer.
Oh yeah.
And I'm assuming the deer, either the coyote came to the bay or he was sitting there waiting to make his.
He might have been. He may have been sitting with the deer, and then Huck kicked that deer out of bed, and he just went in the race with him.
Yeah, but he made a couple circles, and I was like, I'm kind of blown away. Well, I got my meta glasses on, so I start clicking record, and they run around this bush, and Huck goes right, and the coyote goes left, and they come by. And of course, the coyote sees me, and then he's out of there. But it was pretty damn funny to see that, because it wasn't like Huck wasn't bothering him, and he wasn't bothering him. It was like, hey, if we'll get this bitch together, and we can beat him, you know. It was
teamwork
cool.
makes the dream work.
Have y'all ever had him get in on a bay with hogs?
Yeah. I got one spot on a place. That coyote might have died last year because he never did get in on it last year. But for about 4 years in a row, everywhere along that creek right there, within 500 or 600 yards, we'd leave those dogs. I mean, I'll leave those dogs bayed for a while and just ease over there and walk in and let the hunters see what we got bayed and let them kind of walk. I mean, that's what they pay for. But there's a bunch of times that coyote will be right there. Like if you look around, he might not be baying, but he's standing there looking.
I got you.
And which there's a lot of times we'll stab those pigs and just keep rolling with that group. And so they get fed right there. So they it's kind of feeding time to them when they hear dogs bayed. But 2 years ago, I guess last time I seen that coyote, I was tying a big sow down right there, and that coyote had come around the brush while I'm sitting there tying that sow down and run up, and I spooked him, I guess, and he opened up, and I turned back, and he's about, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 feet behind me, just squawking. And my dogs I was tying him down, my dogs already rolled on. I got a bulldog standing there with a guy in his hand. I was like, oh, hey, you're way too early.
That's pretty wild.
I've tied them down and then like go a few hundred yards to get the buggy, and before I get back, they'd be chewed on by coyotes. I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
And they're standing there watching you tie that hog down. You don't see them, you know.
I got you.
Right.
Ed Barnes was telling me, I don't know, it's a couple of years ago, they were there and they had one that was standing there baying with their dogs.
Yes, I've had that happen as well.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've seen it I've seen it with cow dogs too. We'd be gathering cattle, and my cousin used to have a Kelpie that looked like a down coyote, and had some dogs bayed on a group of cows down in a bottom, and I was, I don't know, along the ridge away from him, and I called him, or he called me and asked if I knew where Cross was. I said, yeah, Cross is down here bayed on these cows. And he's like, oh shit, no, he's not. He just trotted up here to me. So there's a dog that looks just like him down there. Hey, there's a coyote down there bayed with his other dogs.
Oh hell. Good stuff.
They're resourceful little shits. They're very opportunist.
They do it for survival. Our dogs do it because they like to.
And I don't know if I'm 100% sure, and y'all probably had the same experience, but I feel like there's a handful of tracks every year that we go on that you can. One telltale sign is you go down a blood trail, there's a puddle of blood, and the inside of it will be licked out clean. and the outside would look like an hourglass, you know, and it's like something licked that blood out of there. Well, it's, you know, it's usually
but it could be. I mean, I've kicked skunks off of a blood trail before. That you know, there's a lot of things that'll lick a blood trail, and hogs will root on a big spot like a hog bed or something like that.
Yeah,
I've noticed that them coyotes you'll get going, you'll be going, and there won't be much blood, and it's because, and when you do find a spot that looks like he stood there in blood, it's scratched out, almost looks like it's rooted up by turkeys or something, you know, scratched out. And I think them coyotes are kicking it around with their feet and going on, you know, and then it makes it harder for you to see it because it's turned upside down or whatever. But it seems like if I go on a coyote pushed deer, you can use it almost like I can tell a lot of times if you'll just be slow and pay attention. Like if it's good woods, good ground, you can tell. And I think they're going through there, you know, rummaging with the blood trail and everything else.
Probably a pup or something that hadn't really done it much.
Yeah, what I was basically what I was getting at is like, I swear there was one particular track this year that you could just tell the way the deer had moved, the way the dog tracked, that felt like the deer was jumped by coyotes. I can't promise it or whatever, but the way it looked and the way it was like the coyotes jumped the deer did his magician trick, you know, did his Houdini and then went on, and the coyotes couldn't find him, but the dog figured out the track and found him. And I like I said, I may be crazy, but like this particular situation, these hunters had tried their damnedest to ruin it. They had pushed the deer twice. We're 3/4 of a mile into the track where they finally let off the deer, and they had bumped him twice in that time frame. They knew he was gut shot. Anyway, we get down the trail and we get to that flat spot. You know, it takes us a while. He pecks around, pushes it 200. Gets lost a little bit and then makes it about 300 and then 400. Well, we get to the end of the track where you know, it's this tall shit in this bottom, and the dog stops and he's doing his 10-yard, 20-yard, 40-yard, 50-yard circle trying to cut it to figure it out. Well, by that time we kind of eased up there and I'm trying to just kind of see what's going on, you know. Well, by the time I get up there and start trying to look around, Huck hits the backtrack and just takes off. And I'm like, all right, whatever, you know, he's just checking. He goes right down the backtrack for right at 300 yards. And I'm like, if he goes 50 yards, whatever, but 300, he's going for a reason. Well, he goes 300, hooks a left, goes 100, and then parallels the same track that we just came down, and goes right by us 100 yards away, but parallels the same track that we was on, and goes 600, and then boom, strikes, you know, base solid in this other stuff. And I was like, to me, you know, the deer could have done that because the guys were pushing them, but it was well past where they had last stopped or what they told me.
He was being chased by coyotes.
Yeah, and it just seemed like he had got the coyotes off his track by doing that 300-yard double down, and he figured it out pretty damn quick. It took us a lot longer to get to where that last spot was than for him to figure out that backtrack. So it was pretty cool. And you know, I'm trying to explain to the hunter, I'm like, dude, this is dog work right here. Like we find a bunch of deer, and you know, obviously I get spoiled because, you know, if it's a dead deer, most of the time we don't find them, and it is what it is. But like when I really get my rocks off is when he can figure out a backtrack that far, and then a parallel, and then to bathe the deer, and then to go finish the job. And it was just that one. That was like one of the tracks this year. That was like that's the shit that I like. That's the one that I live for right there. Yeah.
I had two this year that one was 3.5 miles, one was 4 miles. Both deer were gut shot. Both deer were still alive, but laying in the bed, couldn't even stand up. 4 miles, and there's no other explanation besides like how it had pushed them and just couldn't finish it out. Or, exactly. I mean, they were so sick, one cow could have walked up and just started eating on them. So it didn't really make sense to me. But I mean, it had to have been coyote driven to go that far.
Yeah, but that coyote didn't drive him all the way to his bed. That coyote quit him, and he run another 600 or whatever, and he just outrun the coyotes and went and bedded.
And I read a deal here the other day about how I've kind of got into a little bit of coyote hunting. They have a home range, and I think if they push them out of their home range, they know who's boss over there. They're just, maybe that's thinking too far in, but it's like, in one track was open country, and the first 500 yards was screwy, but the last 2.5 miles or 3 miles was almost a straight line down a draw, up and over hill, across 3 6-wire fences with no sign at the fences. So it's like he couldn't. I don't think he lost the coyotes. I think they just give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, or stopped because they knew that fence was the end of their ground, maybe.
The biggest track I had this year, we did not load the deer, but it was on a ranch for an outfitter, and he called me, sent me the video, and I was like, yeah, we need to try him tonight because the coyotes are going to be on him, and we need to not let him lay very long. So I took a gamble and said, let's let him lay for 3 hours, and we'll drop dogs. So I dropped Woodrow and Dolly, and they trailed, both of them just tripping over each other for 600 yards. Change directions, roll on. Woodrow's line was clean. Dolly's was absolutely not clean. Get to where they changed directions, there's the bed. Well, that's where the coyotes had already got on him and kicked him out of bed. So we did same thing as like what Ricky said a while ago. We go several hundred yards. This deer's bending, keeps on bending, makes about a 1 mile loop, gets back on his track, runs his track backwards for 300 yards or something, and then comes off the other side of it. And we fall in a couple more miles to the river. And Dolly's not worth a shit on this whole track after the bed. We get on the other side of the river. I guess the coyotes had quit it. And Dolly started tracking again. But she would not. But she's a young dog. But I think those coyotes had her messed up and she wouldn't do it. But when we got on the other side of the river, it was a clean track again, and she was just hammering it out with Woodrow, step for step. And I quit those dogs with 13 miles on their collar.
Damn.
And
we still had blood.
You think it was a mortally hit deer?
No, it was a pretty high flank shot, broadside.
Yeah.
I don't know that he got anything, but it was enough for the dogs to track it for 13 miles.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, either way, honestly.
The deer hadn't
go either way.
The deer hadn't been back on camera, but where we quit, we were 4.5 miles from where we started as a crow flies, and we did not do anything in a straight line. I mean, you could look at the Garmin and tell that so much has been driven by coyotes.
Yeah, anytime.
Those deer get in the woods and they'll run figure eights and zigzags and backtrack and loops and.
What you described in as Dolly is, I see that in my bitch dog a lot. Is and the thing is, she's not scared of a coyote. I've seen her run a coyote plumb across the field that was on a dead deer, like just trying to catch him. But whenever we get to that point, it'll usually go a few hundred yards, and then there's a bed, and then that's when you can tell the coyotes has started him. Right. When we get to that point, every time we come to a thicket or a thick stand of timber, I can stand up on the hill in the open field and watch her in the light, and she'll stick her head up and kind of ease in there. And then once she gets through it, she's gone again. But it's like, she's like,
looking for
she won't quit it, but she's like, I know what's going on. And 9 out of 10 times, if I can get close enough to watch her, I can usually tell the hunter this deer's coyote driven. And you can tell.
Well, from the bed, from that first bed where the coyotes kicked that deer out of bed until we got across the river, I mean, we'd have never got there with Dolly. That was a Woodrow show for like 3.5 miles. But as soon as we got across the river, Dolly just, because she tracks way faster than Woodrow.
Yeah.
She's not near as methodical about it. But as soon as we got to where they started cutting across about 1.5 miles of fresh sowed wheat fields, just one after another, I was like, that deer's not hurting very bad.
Yeah.
He's cutting straight across open country.
Probably because you went 3 hours, there was still just pretty good scent for him. You know what I mean? At 10 or at 6 to 8 hours when you normally run a gut shot.
we had blood where he went across all that open country. We were on a bunch of bottomland, and then where he come out of the bottomland and then went up a big bluff, and it's just a rock face pretty much. He went straight up that, and he was dumping blood, and I was like, surely he's going to get up here, and it goes up there and flattens out. And I was like, surely he's going to get up here and be tired and hurting and getting sick and just give it up. We never bait him one time. And I quit at Woodrow had 13.5 miles on his collar, and we had blood at a tank. And I said, to hell with it. Yeah, I hope the buzzards eat this son of a bitch.
He was a runner. He wasn't a fighter.
We got about 6 miles into it, and the hunt, it was for an outfitter, and the hunter was from up north. We got about 5 or 6 miles into it, and he said, well, how much does it cost for you to stop tracking my deer? I said, you better find a pretty comfortable spot to sit down, because I ain't quitting. You can quit, but I ain't.
Yeah, but no, this is an interesting one.
Yeah, and it's weird to me how that gland works, because I'll track some that's untouched, not cow touch. I'm talking just a 400-yard track, gut shot, dead, and it'll take her forever. And then I went out to East Texas to track one from another tracker's brother. He was working, but man, I think I turned Gypsy loose at like the 12 or 14-hour mark, and she blew it down like he shot it 10 minutes ago, and went 2.5 miles. We jumped him, put him in a river, off the face of a mountain, swam a river, and I pulled her off, a river that we couldn't cross. And man, she tracked it like I just knew that deer was cow push. When I got to about the mile mark, I'm like, because she was tracking it so hard. I mean, and so fast. And that deer, man, I don't see him die. And some of them, every now and then I'll get one where it's like tedious and hard, and I'm like, I'm not finding this deer, and we'll keep picking on it, and then bam, there he is.
I think weather's got a lot to do with that shit.
There's one, I was gonna say, there's one thing we need to talk about for this deal for people listening and trying to understand how the dog deal works and all that, and it's what we base every call on, especially in October: humidity.
Agree.
Yeah, we were pretty lucky this year, really, as a whole. I feel like
it sucked the first couple weeks, but it leveled out.
Well, I mean, y'all know how I am. I loaded a bunch of deer that I went on way too soon, and that's why I had to shoot 15 out of the 25 I loaded in October. But go before noon, beat the heat before the humidity gets real low, and then the next morning you go for the shit that you got called on the night before. But prime
your
example.
humidity's lower though over there. Like you've got worse humidity where you're at than we do, and then Nick is west of you, and he's got worse humidity than you do. It's you kind of got to play the cards. Do you go early and know that you're going to jump the deer and pray that they can stop, or do you wait 12 hours and run a shit track that's harder on the dog or whatever? It's kind of that's up to the tracker to make that decision on what's going to count.
You got a question on the
That's experience.
I got a
What's the
question on the
question?
humidity. So like Ricky was saying, like say if you go in the morning where you got more humidity versus later in the evening where there's less humidity, what if it's vice versa? What if as the day goes on the humidity gets worse? How does more humidity affect your dog versus less humidity? What's ideal?
Okay, so ideal, you want your humidity to be between 30 and 60%. But so with that said, though, I want
anything up around 30. I want when it gets down to 20. That's when it's. I mean, you need to wait till the sun sets.
I got you.
Right, but so prime example, like opening day, had a guy call me. Opening day of archery season, had a guy call me at like 9:00 in the morning. Said, "Hey, shot a deer at daylight. Have a little bit of blood. Don't really know." Well, how did he react? Well, he kind of humped up, ran about 50 yards, stopped, wagged his tail, walked off. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there at 11. He's like, "You don't want to wait till this evening?" No, if we wait till this evening, the meat's not going to be any good, but he's probably still going to be alive. If you got liver and gut, he might be dead, but if you got one or the other, we'll probably have to bang. But I'd rather beat the heat and go get him and save everything, save the meat and cape and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I get there, let him lay 3 hours. I get there, that deer's dead. But I get my second call while I'm there, and this guy shot a deer in the foot, or about 3 inches above the foot, with a bow.
I shot that fucking deer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's right at the pump house. So he's got bone. He's got bone on the ground, and I tracked a deer for this guy I tracked 2 deer for this guy last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we have conversations when we're walking around in the woods. He knew better than do what he did, but he trailed the deer even with bone on the ground, 600 yards, bumped the deer, and instead of backing out, then he continued to trail the deer for another 600 yards, ran out of blood. So I had a leg shot archery deer. And then he calls me about noon to come track it. I get there at 2:00. And I was like, I was mad. I was like, you know better. We've been over this. We're probably not going to get your deer. Well, we did. Dog smoked the track. We got his deer. And I said, don't ever do that again. Just because we got away with it this time, don't ever do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But so the weirdest, dumbest thing I've had happen was just a couple weeks ago, which it's been hot here all season. It's been shitty conditions are way greater than good conditions. But I go to track a deer, second or third track of the day. It's like 85 degrees, gut shot 270. Guys didn't mess with it. They called me that morning and told me what the deal was. I said, let him lay till after lunch and then go in there 100 yards, see if you can find anything. If you got anything, follow it. If you don't, go 100 yards back out. Mesquite Flat country. So they called me, couldn't get it, couldn't find anything. I dropped Woodrow thinking we're just going to smoke this track. It takes him an hour and a half to follow this track 600 yards to find this deer dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the humidity while he was doing that, and it was 11%.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I told those guys when I seen that, I was like, I'm not pulling him off because I got another track to go to that's an hour from here. And then I can come back and track this deer tonight or in the morning or something when the track gets better. But he banged it out and we got it done. But the next track I went to, I dropped him. Same situation except his gut shot archery deer. And shot that morning as well. And his on the ground 10 minutes, 700 or 800 yards dead. And found it in 10 minutes. One right before took an hour and a half, and it was clean track. It just scent conditions, and it wasn't even in sand. There was good pasture grass. Like wasn't overgrazed, wasn't slicked off. Just couldn't smell it. I mean, that dog never went more than 3 feet off the track, and it still took him an hour and a half to peck it out.
Yeah, and
crazy.
Man, one thing I'm a firm believer in now is if a deer's shot in the morning, humidity's 10%, 90 degrees, you go at lunch. If you was to wait until dark, you'd find that deer twice as fast, 3 times as fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Versus it set longer. And that's one thing that this year wasn't as bad for us. I didn't have to do a lot of that, but last year, man, was horrible.
Last year was worse, for sure.
And this year, it wasn't as bad. But, I mean, I'm sure it's bad. It's always worse out there where more is, or down with Nick and Justin and them. But, for us, the humidity, it's such a big deal. I'm tracking it. And since I started tracking, I've relayed that over to hog hunting.
Yeah,
and that's the same.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same way. I mean,
you'll take, so a lot of guys will take, and I know some guys and started hunting with some guys in the last few years that they'll drop their best dogs first and they look like rock stars, and they'll drop their young dogs second and they don't do worth a shit. And I'm like, do them different.
Mm-hmm.
You drop your young dogs first because the tracking conditions are better. All the tracks are fresher and the conditions are better. You can make your puppies look like rock stars and then run your old dogs to go clean up and finish the hunt. When you start doing that, your numbers start getting more even between your young dogs and old dogs, and that's way better for the young dogs.
Yes, it is. I have to agree with that. So I'm one of those. I'm a firm believer in letting the pups go and let them try to work it out first. And if I know something is there and they're having trouble with it or whatever, then we'll kick the older dogs out. Whatever. But I always try to give the pups the main shot at it, because that's what I'm working toward. If you got a dog that's a seasoned hog dog, then it doesn't need a lot of help. It doesn't need all these extra tracks like a pup does. So you want to try to get as much as you can on them. But the humidity for us this year was worse. Man, during the summer, there were some nights we hunted. We hunted that iron dog contest, and I have never, but one other time, had a situation that was even close. I mean, the hogs were right there. The dogs would damn near walk past them. It was that bad. The humidity was 92%.
Well, that's what I was about to say is there's a fine line there. If it's 90 degrees and humidity's up around 60, 70%, then the dogs just can't breathe, especially in tall grass or pastures. It
was 106, and that was that afternoon. It was 106 degrees, and the humidity was 93%. I mean, it was to the point.
What were y'all doing in the pig woods?
But that's how we hunt here. That was
in the heat of the day like that.
That was at night.
We have real bad humidity, so a lot of times
it's 90% all the time.
The temperature will be 85, 89, 92, but then the humidity is almost the same.
Yeah.
So it's just
it should be raining.
You're standing in the shade sweating, and you're like, I feel like I'm being molested by the air.
When we say you're sweating, we went down to Hondo, Texas, down there with Case Frida and them.
Oh yeah, it's nice. That heat is badass because there's.
It was 100. It was 105 degrees that day, just straight temperature.
I was like, hell, we ain't even sweating. This is
I
kind of
had
crazy.
on a fucking long sleeve shirt.
I was like, this is weird. It's hot, but
you can't wear a long sleeve shirt here. You're so wet. You sweat so bad, you will die. It will kill you.
When we build houses during the summer, I usually wear overalls and a wife beater tank top underneath. It's just because you're going to sweat through your clothes so quick. But if you have too much clothing on, you just get rubbed raw a lot. Mm-hmm. Just because you sweat so much because it's just so humid.
But the dogs this year though, it was hard on them. And any of the guys that were, I would say, from Mississippi over this area, on the east side of the Mississippi, in the southeast, that hunted, we all, several of us that hunted that tournament, and all of us had that same issue. Like there was guys that like, bro, like our dogs can't smell the hogs. I was like, look, we had some that was literally on camera, walked out there and bumped them, and the dogs went. The dog just looks like I don't know if nothing was here or not, you know. But now the day before, the humidity was less. The temperature was a little less, but it was less humidity. It was like 68 or 67 or 68%. And I was like, that was where it was kind of, if we can get 50,
better.
Yeah, 50 to 60%, man, like we can really do good. But
everything looks like rock stars.
Yeah, but we have the opposite. When we were in Texas, the humidity went from 40, I think it was 42% that midday, and it dropped. It was 11% that evening. Like, and the dogs literally, they did the same thing. Like, it was not enough. I was like, it blew my mind. But you could really tell the difference. So I was just curious on how that worked with, you know, the blood trailing.
It's all the same. And I didn't put all that. I never even put all that together until I started doing the deer dog deal and keeping up with what's what and all the things. But on hog dogs before that, like, I mean, I've had some pretty nice dogs.
Yeah.
And I've had them look stupid before and wonder why. And I figured out, like, they'll wind a pig or a group of pigs by a tank, like they left a tank and went and bedded behind tank dam in the shade or whatever. Dogs smell them from 400, 500, 600 yards away, go kick them out of bed. And it's not a 300 or 400 yard race, and those pigs just smoke their ass and they can't trail them.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? Y'all just have a bad day or what? No, it's because I had them in the woods at a bad time.
Yeah.
The track's no good. If they can see them, they can chase them. But if they get out of sight, they can't trail them.
That's our problem. Everything's so thick here, man. Like, it's just thick. We have very few open field. When we have a big field,
so we probably hunting
20 acres is that's a big field. 20 to 40 acres is a monster of a field.
A field is probably less than 2% of what we hunt as far as like land type cover, whether it be like cattle pasture, just like opening in general.
Pasture would be the only field that we really hunt anyway.
It's what?
Y'all need to make a trip down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to see some open country.
Where are you located at? Where about again?
Northwest Texas. I hunt a bunch around Seymour, McGargle.
Okay.
Wichita Falls.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I mean, we got some country over here that'll be several thousand acres, all just wheat fields.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
I went out there.
You would think I'd have a lot more running catch dogs than I have, but I
went out there this winter this last winter for the first time, and we pulled into a place that it wasn't open. It was just mesquite trees.
Yeah. So,
and when we pulled into there, I thought, no,
he's trying to trick us, ain't he? Yeah.
This was my spot, wasn't it?
The place we were hunting.
Yeah.
I thought, but still, I thought there's no way there's hogs here. No way. I mean, there's not even no grass. It's just dirt and mesquite trees. Come on, how do they live? And every hog I seen was fatter. You could tell a difference in their frame than you could our hogs, just like the normal sow. I was like, man, that hog looks different. And then the next one, I was like, that hog looks different. And then the next one, I was like, okay, I see a pattern. And they were fat too, like they were healthy. And
really?
It blows my mind. Nothing to eat. Yeah, and a lot of our hogs are not healthy. And man, we have blackberries, cattle feeders everywhere, deer feeders everywhere. It just doesn't make sense. But
we can go into some river bottom country around here where it's thick plum thickets and stuff like that, and you're gonna have fat hogs that roam, and they'll roam for miles. I mean, you'll get on a group of pigs, and everything always runs home. So you get on a group of pigs in a wheat field, you might follow them 4 or 5 miles to a briar thicket where they live. and just be catching them along the way every couple 100 yards or something.
Yeah, see, we never get into that. Like, it's.
Do you not?
No, like we went hunting in the no, dude. Like if I'm not one of those guys that really tries to keep up with the numbers. There was several years I was like, well, let's see how many we catch this year. Blah blah blah. And it just don't. I always forget or whatever. But we started traveling a lot, and normally we would catch, say 60 to 100 head of hogs, and people were like, how do y'all find so many? Local guys, guys that are here. And we started traveling more, and those guys were like, dude, we caught 50, in 3 days. I'm like, what?
Right.
And so one of the first trips that we really took, and I seen the difference, we went to Georgia, where the hog population is pretty heavy at. I think we caught 30, we put our hands on 31 in 2 days, but I don't know how many we actually caught, just back and forth. I had a lot of rough dogs. Most of us had a little rougher dogs then. And then, we went to other places and we were just stacking numbers. I think we were at around 300 or so before the end of the summer. And I was like, this is crazy. But it also reverted back to, I went back to where we started our dogs at. We don't have very many hogs. They're few and far between. So the dogs really have to hunt. Mm-hmm. And so when we get in places where there are a lot of hogs, the first day, I think the dogs are in shock. Because they're like, holy shit, I can smell a pig. But then, then they usually show out pretty good. But like where we're at, there's just not, we don't have a lot of open races. If you get to relaying and you catch more than 2 or 3, like you had an absolute outstanding day. Like, I mean, that's ridiculous to have a day like that.
Yeah, it's going to be just different country and different everything, I imagine.
Oh, I'd love to come out that way. I waited for Ricky to invite me to come out, but like he just don't,
If you'll go,
I had to wait until I had dogs.
Yeah, he's
pretty greedy with what he's got.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. I was like, he was talking about somebody's butthole earlier, and I was like, I don't know if I want to
go. Listen, I can't be bringing you hog dog, and I ain't got no damn hog dogs.
I don't either. That's why I want to go with you or somebody.
Well, you're talking to the wrong son of a bitch, because I've got 3 worthless ass dogs.
I've seen the videos, man. Now you're hog dog famous. Too late now, buddy.
Hey, he's got 6 full-blood plot dogs. That's all y'all need to know.
Oh, my God. We are going to catch them up now, boys. Get the drones out, and we're going to go.
Falling is falling all the way.
Hell yeah!
I got a full black one, a full yellow one. It's an interesting little group.
Y'all really do need to come. Y'all need to come do a pig hunt. That'd be.
Michael's got the shit. I don't have the resources. Michael's got the resources and a place to stay. I don't have a place to stay.
I don't either. But we'll come visit.
If y'all get out to hunt with Rusty, you're not far from me. You're like kind of almost in between me and Michael.
Well, I talked to
Rusty.
Rusty's
got some good hunting.
Yeah, he does. We went hunting with him first part of last year of 25, and we got to hunt a couple of nights there. With no real heavy hunting. We were doing the Woods Dog event there, so it was kind of we had a few minutes. Let's go run, but. He lost his house and he's having to rebuild and do all this stuff. So I talked to him today, and that's what I told him. I was like, man, we'll just wait till, later in the year or next year or something like that. I don't want to try to put any pressure on him. He's got so much going, but I wanted to come out and hunt with him again for sure.
Who is it?
Over here.
Yeah, Rusty Mitchell.
He's out in Eureka. More. How far are you from Eureka?
No. He messaged me on Snapchat one day when I was up there tracking a deer, and I drove by, I guess he was at the store getting coffee or something. And he said, that you that just went by the store in Eureka? I said, yes, sir.
He let me know too. He said some little redheaded guys driving through your country with a little deer dog.
And a Tacoma with an armored truck.
No, I'd like to come up there and hunt though. I think it'd be a good time.
Well, hell, we're all close enough. We could come up with some
Mm-hmm.
country between us to go do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that stuff out there with Rusty it's probably my favorite hunting because it's not wide open running catch dog stuff. It is open, but they also have draws and thickets in between them. So once you get a hog out and running, you might can have a good race. You know what I mean? And he'll drop over into the next section and bay in a draw. And man, it's just some of them places in Texas have, especially south, they don't have the number of hogs those guys do down there, but it's just good. It's fun hunting where Rusty's at.
Yeah, we had a good
That's
time.
What I was. Go ahead.
No, I said we had a good time there. That's all I'm saying. Like, I mean, like we didn't get to hunt a lot, but just like Taylor was saying, you know, it's open, but it's not just wide open. We were over there close to the river, and you know, like you said, we had a bay going up. We started out, we bayed right on the side of the road one time, and then we wound up we had a race going, and they fell off in this gully, bayed down there, and then they went to this draw, and hell, I don't know. I think we had about a 1.5 mile, 2 mile race, and they got down there to the river. It was, you know, a couple of pretty good ones. I definitely.
Well, where I'm at, I'm right in the middle of all kinds of shit. So we can leave my house and then go an hour in any direction and go to either just wide open wheat fields, or we can go to flat mesquite flat country, or river bottom country, or getting some cedar hills that are just rank, nasty 150 to 180 pound hogs with 3-inch teeth. That's kind of whatever.
Marco's in a badass area. I like when I go out there. It's just I don't know. It's cool to me. Probably because I don't live up there, but it's you like you said, you can go in any direction. You come towards me, you're gonna get into some more wooded areas, but then I don't know. I like that mesquite shit. I don't like I don't know. I'd rather run through mesquites with some cactus here and there than I would over here in the bottom with the briars. So I don't know. Just to me, I like it better.
Well, them briars are rough.
Yeah, I can go track 4 or 5 deer in one day, and it'll look like I'm in different parts of the world.
That's a fact. Yeah.
I'll go from cedar breaks and go baying all dad and shoot him standing on a rock, and then I'll have a dog bait on something in a river bottom, and I'm standing in salt cedar shooting him, and it's just wild. Or Woodrow might be circling something in a wheat field, and you don't see a tree around.
Damn.
It's weird. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be. We have a diverse deal like that in a way, but like probably not as extreme as yours. You know, like we can, you know, in an hour we can be in the flat country river bottoms down south, about an hour and a half or so, and then like where we're in the foothills. Then you can go a little further north. Then you'll be in the start of the mountains. You know, you get a little bit of all of it.
Right. Well, like where Bell's at, he can go not too damn far and be in country, kind of like I track in a bunch, or he can go the other way and he'll be in bear country.
Yeah. It's what fascinated me. Man, I've hunted a lot of places, but the hogs where more is out there in West Texas. Would you call Seymour West Texas? Yes.
Yeah, it's West Texas.
They looked so much different to me, and they weren't like odd looking hogs. They were just shorter and thicker made hogs. Is where our hogs are longer and a little leaner. And maybe it's just the water hogs we caught, but man, there was a difference, and it wasn't big. Like the normal everyday guy wouldn't have noticed it, you know. But man, it's different.
You go to different parts. Like I got some stuff down around Stephenville. I used to hunt a lot when I was mouthing cows at Dublin Sale Barn. we hunted this place that was nothing but just big cedar hills. And we hunted it for 2 years, and we never caught a pig weight over 200. And I bet we caught 100 boars off that had 2-inch teeth, and they didn't weigh over 150 pounds.
Damn.
But you get out of the hills, and you come an hour and a half to like around here, and you might catch I've caught some hogs that were not even cut hogs, just double nutted boar hogs that'll weigh 360, 380.
Damn.
I caught a sow that I pretty damn sure would weigh 400, but 4 of us couldn't get her out of the creek to weigh her, to hang her in a tree to weigh her. But she was long back, big, just a damn sure big hog.
Mm. Yeah,
that's our issue here is we run into, you go a little further east or north, you get into some mountain country, the teeth get bigger, but here, like a lot of our hogs I don't catch a lot of 4-inch teeth. Like, some places, every hog I see someone post has big teeth, but man, a lot of our 150-pound hogs will have good teeth. Good dog killers. And I caught that big listed hog the other day. He didn't have no teeth; they were broke off. But a lot of our hogs have teeth. Where you go an hour east, and you can catch 25, 200-pound boars, and not a one of them's got teeth.
Right.
Mm.
I like these 80-pound sows. They're real good for me. Like they bay up good, and dogs don't get fucked up. It's cool.
Yeah.
Ricardo, what do you think that boar weighed that we caught on the river last year?
And I've killed 2 pigs, not with dogs, because this is the hog dog is new to me. But I've killed 2 pigs over 300, like with guns, obviously. And I weighed them. I knew they were 320 and 323, but that pig was pushing 3, and he was nutted. And I don't know. I always downplay, just like I do deer. When I shoot a big deer or find a big deer, I always put them 10 inches lower than what they are. And I thought he was 270, 280, but I don't know.
Well, that's what I told you that day we caught him and hung him
I
up.
don't know why we didn't scale that son of a bitch.
Well, remember my batteries were dead on my scales because we tried to weigh him. But I caught a sow like 2 days after that and weighed her because I came home and put batteries in my scales. But I weighed her. She weighed, because that's the biggest pig that Trace has caught by himself solo. And he's just a year-old pup. And she weighed 275. And that boar was quite a bit bigger than that sow was.
That's a good.
Ricky, is that the hog that more climbed the tree? Got in the tree? You told me that.
What do you say? I put my kids in the tree when we're on a hog hunt.
You ain't never seen a leprechaun in a mesquite tree at the top?
I haven't climbed a tree to get away from a pig yet.
I will say that was one of my favorite run-ins to a catch. I don't know I don't know why, but when we dropped the dogs, I had that stag hound in my hand, and Michael had a pretty big female catch dog. It's like, what is gosh damn it, what's her name?
I don't remember who we had.
Your female, your little white female.
Ava?
That's Ava, yeah. And what is she?
Yeah. No, it's some line of dogs that me and John made. They're half game bred pit, and the daddy to them was a dog we called Olaf, who's 3/4 Dogo and 1/4 American Bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
They make actually smaller than the rest of them, really.
Yeah, they make 65 to 75 pound females and 95 pound male dogs.
Nice.
There's not a dog on Michael's yard that
It's
You
below
got
70
three
pounds.
dogs together that will weigh as much as his dog. They're all huge. And they're on full feed.
Yeah. Everything I've got's big.
I wonder why that is. Is it because you're so small, or if it's like
I ride them in and have them lead me out. Yeah, I mean, it ain't no. I weigh my dogs, and there's one female here that's little. She's like 45 pounds, but everything else, the females are 65 to 75 pounds, and the males are 85 to 95.
Hell
It
yeah.
doesn't matter if it's a deer dog, catch dog for pigs, whatever. There's big leggy
Got
dogs.
some ass to them.
Big and leggy and a lot of bottom and ear and got a head on them.
I got a head on, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'd have to come see all them dogs. I'd like to see them. I'm used to smaller dogs
Big, pretty.
anyway.
My puppies last year, so I had a litter of puppies out of Woodrow last year. Who's kind of my prodigy deer dog out of the line that I made. Those puppies, I was fixing to start hauling them in November, and they got parvo for the second time and crashed out.
Damn.
But they were 5.5 months old, and they weigh between 55 and 60 pounds.
Lord have mercy. Chunks.
Which that's on full
Me
feed.
too this year, man.
They were fat. I mean, they were just puppy fat, but they're big. They're bigger than most people's grown dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's big for 5-6 months old. Shit.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, my dogs don't even look real. Hunting, standing next to moors in a bay.
That pup when Belle came for that hog hunt last year, I dropped a yellow pup that was like, I don't know, 15 months old or something. And I know we all probably have the video of it, but everybody dropped a dog, and I just dropped a pup. My dogs were wore out. I was like 14 days straight of hog dogging clients, and I was like, y'all need to bring everything you got because everything I got's wore out. And like, we've been hunting hard. So I dropped this pup that's like 15 months old, and he's about 8 inches taller than everything on that pig. He looked like a damn Clydesdale amongst a bunch of cutting horses.
Damn. Yeah,
it
works
funny
out
when
perfect,
I see.
though.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
It worked out perfect, though. Your dog's being worn out, and that's coming up there. So if I'm going to travel, I'm going to hunt dogs. Same way with Ricky, and then you get to let your dogs lay up. We can run our stuff. And it works perfect like that, though. You know.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we got on new country.
Yeah.
That Taylor Bell didn't think pigs lived in.
We pulled into that place. I thought, what are we doing?
So Taylor was in the pickup with me, and we were following you along, and I was like, I wonder where he's going. He's like, I don't know. I said, there's going to be pigs right here. And then you went up on top, and I was honking at you or flashing my lights at you or something. And I said, there's going to be pigs right back there. And I dropped dogs and went right to where I said there's going to be pigs, and they struck a pig.
Hell.
I could see 100 yards through
open.
the mesquite tree. Through the mesquite
Bill
trees.
said,
Yeah,
he said, you fucking nailed it.
I was driving past it to go to the woods, though, because it's not the same shit that I hunt over here, either. But
I know.
It's more typical to your area, and it was
half of that guiding shit's got. I mean, just got to kind of pay attention to where shit's going to be. Set everything up for success.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what gets it started. As soon as you get it started, it's game on. But you got to get it started.
If you get it started, it tends to go a whole lot better.
Yeah, because you're stirring everything up, making fresh tracks. Everything's fixing to start happening right now.
Mm-hmm. And that part of the country there, I'll be honest with you, you know, like being I guess you'd say from the mainstream point of view now, that hog dogging has taken hold of it. You know, that part of the country there, you don't hear a whole lot about it. But the guys like yourself and Rusty and Ricky, all you guys like that I talk to, and I see videos and the pictures, that's some of the best hogs in the country. Like there's some, you guys catch some big hogs, good teeth.
Yeah, it's not the best teeth where I'm at.
Oh, really?
And we catch no, not at all. We'll catch. I can flip through Facebook, and I got a lot of people on my Facebook that hog hunters and stuff, and they'll be posting pictures of some hogs that got. I mean, the bases of their teeth are the size of your damn thumb.
Oh yeah.
And they'll be 3 or 4 or 5 inches long. I'm like, we don't have that shit here. We have good teeth.
If you do, they're cut.
Well, not necessarily. Well, we'll catch. I mean, like probably ever hunt that I guide, we're gonna have somebody's gonna get to stab a pig that's got good, like sure enough, like you want to keep this for a European mount.
Mm-hmm.
Just a good pig, like a damn nice pig. But there's some guys that I don't even know where the hell they come up with these pigs that have 6-inch teeth that are curled back into their jaw and shit like that. We don't have that. If you're going to have anything even close to that, it's going to be a boar that's been crippled for a long time and stays by itself and don't fight. I mean, those boars
break their top teeth knocked out.
Yeah, well, I'm saying with nuts in them. If I see a crippled pig, like in a thermal, those thermal hunters, if I see a boar limping across a field, staying pretty close to the brush, I'm like, you want a toothed pig? That's gonna be him probably.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you say that, one of the biggest tooth hogs I've seen, my buddy caught down the road from my house, and he was crippled.
Yeah, because they don't fight. Hogs, those boar hogs break their teeth from fighting more than anything. So a crippled boar's not going to go around fighting shit at all. I mean,
no.
Trying to survive.
Yeah.
They just hang out by themselves and just graze, and if they find a sow ready to hang out, then cool. But they're not going to go fight boars and break their teeth and slap each other and all that shit. We got a bunch of broke tooth boars up here, but we catch a bunch of them. I mean, we'll catch the last year that I kept up with the numbers, we caught which I filmed a bunch of TV shows and stuff that year, but caught like 485 hogs that year between January and like May when we quit running dogs.
Damn.
And we caught some absolute stud hogs that like I had. Which every year, the first part of the year, every year we catch some good pigs. All the way up until like 2 years ago when everybody started buying thermals.
Oh, I know, man.
Now you got deer hunters in the woods, and they'll go do a hunt, and then they don't see a deer, so they'll come back to camp and they'll drink whiskey and they'll get their thermals out and they'll ride around, and nobody shoots a little pig.
Ain't that the truth?
They shoot all the big ones, so they're just out there blasting hogs and yearlings.
Yeah.
I know of probably 15 or 20 yearlings that's been shot because they said, "Man, I thought it was a big hog." Well, no, that's a $4,000 yearling that you shot, you dumb son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's we have a special nighttime season here now for dogs, but they also have one for thermals. and it's for wild hogs and coyotes, varmints, whatever, and you pay $15 for the year to get your permit for that, and you can hunt from basically when deer season's not in. So I think it's like from February the 11th through like October or something like that.
So y'all can't run dogs even on private land during deer season?
You
Yeah,
can during the day, Leo.
In the daylight.
yeah, in the daytime. But like there's
Really?
yeah, like right now when you know say hey we're shut down, there's a couple spots that we can slide in and out and go hit that are ours. You know, we have one club that we're in, and we're only in that hunting club to catch hogs. And those guys that hunt, they call us. They're like, hey, y'all guys go in there this week any night y'all want, as many nights as you want. The hogs are tearing up our feeders, you know, eating the corn. So we got a working relationship with that, and that works out pretty good. But like on our private stuff that we own or that's ours by ourselves, they passed a baiting bill here a few years ago. So now, of course, everybody's running feeders, and the hogs are moving way more. 5-6 years ago, like our property held hogs right there, and that's once the baiting bill really took a hold, man, it's just like now they come through about every 3 or 4 weeks. They'll come in, they'll stay for a few days, eat, feed, and then move to the next spot. And but so from gun season starts in November and goes out in February for deer.
I believe a wild hog's the most adaptive animal on earth.
Yes,
100%.
One of them.
Oh
It's
yeah,
crazy.
100%.
People think they're just stupid hogs, and I'm like, man, y'all don't even know.
They're the smartest creature in the woods, I imagine.
mm-hmm.
They just can't
And
see
toughest.
real good, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't need to see real good. A feral pig can survive on its own 7 days after birth. What other animal can do that?
Oh, I agree. It's probably not any.
No.
Yeah, I don't know of many that could. But at the same time, you know, it's they're so hard on the invasive species and all this stuff. It's like, man, these things have been here for hundreds of years now. They're a part of our country, no matter whether you like it or not. They're a part of it. You can try to keep the numbers in check all you want, but they're not going nowhere.
Nah, you ain't gonna kill all of them.
No, they're here. You know, and you've got more people hunting now than ever as far as for hog hunting. I would think. And I mean, you see it. It's exposed and exploited way more now than it's ever been. And so it's like
I've had a bunch of thermal hunters, which this is just my third year to do the AR and thermal thing.
mm-hmm.
But I've had a shitload of people come hunting with ARs and thermals, and a bunch of them have their own setup.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have their own gun, thermal, suppressor, everything. They just don't have the country to do it, and I've got the country, and I'll show them 200 to 500 pigs in a night, and we'll do
Wow.
8 or 10 or 12 spotting stocks in a night on wheat, and they'll just, I mean, those guys have a blast just spotting, stalking, and smoking their ass.
I bet.
Pigs.
That's a lot of hogs.
But we catch more with dogs than we do kill with guns.
It's because you got the dogs and they're on the trigger. Those shooting some bitches.
mm-hmm.
Michael sent me a ton of videos of just guys just dumping mags in them. with he's got hangers he's got the Tacoma with his flatbed, and he's got hangers on the outside he'll hang the pigs up on. And he'll be sending videos throughout the night. We kind of keep up, like, oh, you got 500 tonight. Let's see how many. And, it'd be a couple videos just fucking dumping mags on groups of pigs. And At the end of the night, they'll have 5 pigs hanged up. I'm like, God almighty, what the fuck? You should have shot 5 out of that first group. What in the hell?
I told so many guys around here, the first thing they say when they get pigs, they'll be like, hey, me and my buddies want to hunt them. I was like, okay. And then I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, because a lot of them at first, they're like, well, during deer season, we'll shoot some. I'm like, you're not going to help yourself. And then it's like, okay, well, we got thermals. Now, keep in mind, how big did I say our fields were here?
Yeah, 20 acres.
And that's a good field. Now, you get down south, yes, there are bigger fields down there. But from half the state or more up this north side, like, that's it. There, I have been where there was 30, 40 hogs at a time in the field, even in the area that we live in. And we let these military guys, like we carried them out, and they, like you said, just mag dumped. And there was not a hog injured. None.
Had to shoot out at Walmart. And then they left.
I think it was you and Joe that was shooting, wasn't it? When we carried, I can't remember their names. We was up there by Mitchell's. Anyways, out in that field, anyway, I think the only hogs that was shot was that Joe shot, my brother-in-law, and we were within 50 yards of him. And I was like, this is ridiculous, guys. And it's like that. I tried to tell all these guys, I was like, look, if you have a group of 50 hogs out there, if there's 5 people shooting and you kill 5, you did great. But chances are you're not even going to kill that many. They think I'm crazy. They're like, oh, bullshit. I'm like, okay, do it. Let's see. I said, show me how many you're going to get. And I ain't had nobody show me anything different.
They cripple the shit out of some when they're running.
Yep.
If you can get those guys, so I have all those guys I'll line them up. Like, we'll spot and stalk and get within 75 yards of them. And I've got my own guns and thermals, and if they have their own, they want to bring theirs, I encourage that because they're more comfortable shooting their own guns, obviously. Mm-hmm. So I'll have them set up, and then I'll be like, all right, give me 10 seconds to back up so I can film y'all shooting these pigs. And I'll have 5 guys set up in a line shooting at 30 hogs, 3, 2, 1, boom, and then they'll kill 2 or 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else runs off. Like, all right, let's go do it again. So we'll go down the road. We'll go to another wheat field, do it again. But we just keep hanging them on the rail on the Yoda. Mm-hmm. And I got airbags on that sumbitch for that reason. I can carry about 2,000 pounds of hogs on that thing pretty easy.
Nice. Moore does have one of the sweetest hunting rigs. It doesn't compare to Dan Brayman's, but it is definitely a top 10 rig.
Mine's going to be way better here shortly.
You got a photo, Ricardo? You got a picture of it?
I got pictures of both ours, but I'm about to make mine way cooler than yours.
How in the hell are you going to do that?
Send me a picture of his Ricky. I want to see that rail that he's got. I want to see what it looks like.
I got 13 hooks on a rail around my dog box bed.
Mm-hmm.
I need a picture of that big boar we caught last year hung up on there. We about to killed ourselves putting that motherfucker up there.
He was heavy.
We got him up there though.
Yeah.
More, you need a Tesla truck. That's what you need.
Test it with what? I've tested it in everywhere you can test a Toyota. A Tesla truck?
Like Dan's got down south. That wins.
No, I think my Yoda is better than that Tesla. I see pictures of that all the time, though. And it is pretty slick for what it is, but it can't do what my Yoda does.
Mm-mm.
In mind, this picture is a 4-foot-tall leprechaun and a 300-pound pig in a sweet Tacoma.
Mm.
Send him a picture of it stuck in that when I went hunting with you.
Oh shit! Oh, I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
that's
do no
pretty sweet.
hanging rack.
I got you. I see.
Did I tell you? Did I tell y'all what that Yoda weighs after I did all that shit to the bed?
A
Damn,
lot,
that's a
probably.
pig.
6,000 pounds.
Holy shit! It's a Duramax.
That's a 3-ton taco meat wagon.
Boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
3-ton taco meat wagon is what that is.
Look at that hog there, Nick.
All I'm
Yeah,
saying
that's a
is
big
the
one.
more
That's
comes,
a stud.
Look, I zoomed out on
all
it now.
I'm
It's a little
saying
better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's.
when
I
we
like
the
that.
come
video
through
of
your
it too.
town with his aviators on, you better make your wives go inside.
Oh,
He got that peach fucking colored button up collared shirt with the aviators and a 300-pound pig hanging off that Yoda. Boy,
mm-hmm.
better look out.
Yeah.
10 90-pound yellow dogs.
Yeah, some fucking 100-pound yellow dogs, boy.
Yeah, I could only imagine what it weighs when you fill it up with dogs.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's something 12,000 pounds.
The other day,
fucking state trooper pulls his scales out on his ass.
when I went hunting the other day, I was like, I need to double something up. I don't know if 2 dogs will fit in these 4x3 boxes that I've got.
Damn.
Those boxes are 30 inches tall. If my dogs stand up straight, they're rubbing the top.
That's crazy.
What do you think that pig weighs, boy?
I don't know.
The one I sent you a picture of.
Dude, that's the way he's built.
We didn't even
big.
fuck around and take good pictures.
Yeah, I mean, that some bitch looks like a bear. Like, actually, he's bigger than some of the bears I've been on. Bigger than most of the bears I've been on. Whew.
So that hook he's hanging from is like 6 foot, probably 6'2" or something. Yeah, and he's almost down. He ain't far from touching the ground.
No, he's just thick as hell too, all the way around.
He's thick. So where he's at across the shoulders is the same as he is across the hips nearly. He's thick. He's a big pig. But I mean, I've damn sure caught some bigger hogs than that, and he didn't put up that much of a fight really. I've caught some shit.
Hey, hold on. Tell him what struck that motherfucker though.
Oh God.
Oh Lord, plot ham.
So the first dog that chirped and went that direction, everything was going that direction. But the first dog that chirped was the deer dog. She's not a deer dog, but she runs a lot of deer. She said there's something with hair over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we watched everything winded at the same time. We're like, there's a pig.
She was 40 yards closer, boy.
Yeah, well, it could have been a jackrabbit too.
40 yards is a long ways on
game, boy.
Yeah, could have been a jackrabbit or a white-tailed deer.
I ain't no plot man by any stretch of the imagination, but I was just sure happy that my dog that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with struck before yours.
It's not that she struck before them; it's that she actually struck what we were after. Is what's incredible to me, because I watched that dog strike. I watched that dog strike a bunch of fucking deer.
She's good at it, boy.
She
is good at striking deer.
We were in Arkansas. Anyhow. I told that boy down there, he had a yellow dog, and he hadn't had her very long. And we were going through the woods, and I noticed she started whining. He was like, "What do you think she's doing?" I said, "Well, she's winding something, hell." He let her go. They went out there and piddled around. A couple of our dogs came on back. She kept pushing a little bit, and heard of one of our other dogs. I think it was that little BB dog of Rodney. She opened up. I was like, that's a deer. Well, get back and we're going around through there, and that dog, she went to opening up, buddy. She was just busting out of the box, you know. He was like, well, that sounds like she's got one hot. I was like, yeah, it does. I said, let her go. I said, you ain't never going to know. He was like, man, I just feel, I said, turn her loose. I said, I told Nate, I said, get ready, get that. I think he had like a little 20 gauge Braxton didn't thing. I said, get ready and fold this big 8-point up when he comes across the road. You know, just cutting up. And sure enough, that sumbitch brought 6 deer across that field. He looked, he's like, damn. I was like, listen, I'm not against it. You know, hey, whatever. She's doing something. I was like, it's better than not. But she was really convincing that time, which I was like, I believe that's a deer. She's really, really excited. And none of the other dogs are.
Yeah, weird how that's working out.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, she's really excited and nobody else is.
Yeah, you listen to Wiley squawk a few times, then you look at Michael's GPS and Taylor's, and that'll tell you the tale of what the fuck she's chasing.
Yeah. Yeah, so me and Ricky we went to a spot that he had lined up. And we got there and he's like, what are you gonna do? I said, we're gonna run Marge Marge come from me, yellow dog that he's got. I said, we'll run Marge with Lori and her sister. And we'll run 3 yellow dogs together. And we'll hold Wally back to run with Swivel. Swivel's a dog that I've got that's like 6. Like, she's honest. As honest as they come.
Mm-hmm.
So we run those, and Marge was having hell running with Wally. So we run Marge with her sister and her aunt. And what they do, Ricky? Roll on 5. The first time we dropped them, they bayed 1. We got it caught. Then we dropped them again, and they rolled on 3, I think, or 4.
Or we kept stabbing and they kept rolling. Every time we'd catch one, they'd roll the next. We'd catch one, they'd roll the next off the same group.
And it was a 2 puppy. It was Dolly and Marge. It was rolling because Lori was like 1.5 miles with, I guess it was the boar. And Lori's her aunt. Like, she's finished. Like, she don't give a shit if she has help. She's gonna do it. She was like 3 last year. So we had Dolly and Marge, and they were just rolling on pigs, and we were sticking them, just doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So we get done with that little set, and we put them up, and then we drop Ricky's Wally dog with Swivel, who's an honest dog. And the purpose of this was if Wally strikes something and Swivel's not with her, burn her off of it because it's not a pig.
Yeah, this is a training type deal on top of.
Yeah, for sure. Training scenario. Well, she did this like 5 times in a row. And then like the 5th time we seen her chasing the deer, and Ricky is pretty mad. And he melted her down. So she comes back to the buggy, and then we take her back along the track, left her on the ground, take her back along the track that she just got burned off of. And this little stupid black bitch takes the track again and starts going.
It's almost like everything that I was ever told about plot hounds, I just seen between my own eyes right up his face. I was like, I've always heard this shit. That's why I never had one. But one fell in my lap. And
I said, all right, let's just be done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Oh my God, what they said was true.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
Try her as a 3-year-old.
She's a hunting son of a bitch, dude.
She'll hunt if she ever figures out what she's meant to hunt. She'll be reckless. But
yeah, we got to figure that out. We're gonna figure it out this year.
Yeah, at least it doesn't take much feed.
No,
She's little.
It don't take much feed, and it don't take much I don't have to do shit. I just kick her out and off she goes.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to beat. I mean, that's most of the battle right there is just getting them to go.
I know it. I know it. That's why I'm like, I can't be mad about it too much. Just half the time,
Just don't run any young dogs behind her, because all she's doing is fucking them up.
I mean, she's just now 3, I think. She was 2 years old and never seen an animal last year, so we're working on it. We're working on it.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. You can take it. You can take a 3-year-old and make something out of him.
Yeah, if that
boy, it's a sound to be heard. I will say that. I love it.
Nice. Oh yeah. Well, that's the plot hounds. So them guys are going to be mad.
Yeah, you think the drones are going to come? You think the drones are going to come in and you poke the plot?
Right.
I thought I used to have some plots, but that was a long time ago. I ain't had none in a while. I might have to get me another one.
I found him behind some that just hard to beat, man.
Yeah, I have it. Not really. I had a couple they were pretty good. They weren't hard to beat. Had plenty of other stuff that could beat them, but and my dogs ain't even good. They're not even pretty good. They're just whatever.
The only guy that I know, out of all the dog guys that I know, the only one that I know that is pretty true to the plot hound deal is Dixon, and his has got to be pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you get into the hog dog world and a lot of
no, I'm not talking about hogs. I'm talking about deer and bear and shit like that. Well, I know he don't run his on bear, but his seem like they do pretty good on. They seem like they do pretty good on deer.
Yeah, Dixon's got good bred. You get into a lot of hog hunters and they don't have real plots. I mean, you get into bear country, man, and the ones I've hunted behind run bear and hog, and
yeah, that's a different deal.
A true plot. I mean, it's way different. They're watered down. A lot of them are watered down. Dixon, he's told me, his are true. I mean, he got them from up north somewhere. I mean, they're bred right, but a lot of your plots are just anymore. That's the problem with them, is they're not really plots. They're plot with a little cur dog in them, and then, I mean, in my opinion, I've been behind some, a lot of them bear guys swear to them, and I've been behind some that were.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
now on the bear side of things, like you said, yes, I think they're probably the top dog, and I've often wondered that. I'm like, man, how come they do so well? You take these guys striking these really old tracks or rigging, for their damn half a mile deep, and these plots are doing all this stuff. And then you talk to other guys, or you go hunting with some guys who have some plots, and they really ain't doing that in the hogwoods. But like you said, I think it's where you're getting them from, what line you're running, and all that really comes into play.
It's probably some guys that'll buy a good dog from somebody and they want to make their own dogs, and they'll cross them with some shit that don't hunt.
Exactly what it is. And then say it's bred from that guy. It's not.
Yeah. Or say they made their own line of dogs or some shit. It takes about 6 generations of dogs, or 6 breedings of dogs, to make your own line of dogs.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not you buy a dog from this guy and you buy a dog from that guy, and then you breed them and you made that line of dogs. All you did was crossbreed that guy's line of dogs to that guy's line of dogs. You didn't make your own line of dogs. You just bred 2 dogs together.
Mm-hmm. You can be starting your own line or establishing your own line, but it's not there yet.
It's starting to establish your own line. It ain't got a damn thing to do with you made that line of dogs. You just Like, I mean, that's how all that stuff started anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll go to track a deer and everybody's like, is that a plot hound? No, it's not. It's a 90-pound dog. He's not a plot hound. He's as tall as a plot hound, but he's a hell of a lot heavier than a plot hound.
Yeah.
Just because he's the same color doesn't mean he's a plot hound.
Somebody asked me about that little catch dog the other day. Is that a plot hound? I'm like, I mean, it's Brindle, I guess, but it's not anything near a plot hound.
Mm-hmm. One of those guys the other day looked at Trace and said, "Is that a lab?" I said, "Yeah." You want to lead him?
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. He's a yellow dog. Is that a yellow lab? Yeah, he's got a vest on. You lead him.
Baddest lab you ever seen.
It's fucking wrecking ball. 95 pounds of fuck around and find out.
Hell yeah. I got to come out there and see him work.
All right, come on, let's make a date. Let's fucking book it. Let's do it.
When's the best?
When are you open? When are you free?
Shit. Oh, that's why we got to. I'm looking at a whiteboard over here for just this week, and there's like 700 things, and I ain't even doing them. That's just
when's Rusty? When's Rusty's deal? Is he gonna do it again this year?
Nope.
No.
Which we'll have to. We're gonna record with him tomorrow night, I think, ain't it, Nate?
Yep.
Good.
To kind of
Wednesday night.
Yeah, we're gonna do kind of a catch up and recap, and he's gonna let everybody know what's going on with the Woods Dog events and all that stuff, and what's happening.
What do y'all do? What do y'all do with Rusty?
Rusty had a Woods Dog Bay, a bay pin competition for just Woods dogs.
Oh, and y'all are
in a common hangout with
hosting that. Yeah.
Yeah, we come out and help and hang out and just whatever.
Make the rules and judge and all that good stuff.
We try to.
Did you go to that last year, Ricardo?
Yes.
To come hang out and drink fucking whiskey and.
No, I said, did you go to it last year?
Yes.
Yeah, he was there. He was. He was a drunk guy.
Was it last year or the year before?
Selling merch.
So cold.
Did John bring dogs to that?
I get him to, and he didn't come.
He didn't come.
Taylor's the only one showed up.
He got all hung up on that Uncle Earl thing last year or the year before, and
yeah, and we set up and Rusty's got a bay an hour and a half from his house, and he don't come.
That's how it works.
Fucking goober.
Goobers.
Oh boy, it's been a few years since I've been to Uncle Earl's. I used to love we'd get us the Airbnb down in there's a town a little ways from there called Natchitoches or
Natchitoches.
Something.
Now you got Natchitoches
on a river
and
walk.
Nacogdoches and a bunch of
yeah. It's Nacogdoches and Natchitoches. I think I may be wrong.
No, you got Natchitoches. You got Natchitoches too. My daughter lives right there by
you made
I was born.
I want to try to go this year.
I was born in Arkansas, moved to Mississippi, fell down in Louisiana, stayed there for a while, went back to Arkansas, and rolled over to Alabama. That's how I know all that stuff. I've been around. Still don't know shit. But, huh?
Here, I want to fucking hang out.
Earl's is a good time. We used to get a Airbnb that it's just usually still hot. So it sucks. It's hot. Yeah. You go there, for me, I'm not competing. I'm going there and hang out. And I'm like, I don't want to set 90-degree weather all day.
You gotta find a shade tree and a cold beer for sure.
That's what we get an Airbnb down the road, and there's a little river walk and a few restaurants there, maybe something like that. And we eat, drink beer, and hang out and stuff. It's a good time. And we'll go to the bay, and it's 30 minutes from there. It's a pretty good little drive, maybe 40, but there where Earl's is, there ain't very much. Little crawfish shack. That's about it.
That's a good place.
Yeah, it is.
No, but you just whatever time you planned on coming to Rusty's, you just come over here.
Well, that's what we're
It
gonna have
ain't
to do.
but an
Something.
hour south. It
Yeah,
ain't just an hour south, probably.
it probably take about the same amount of time to get. Like I think
Probably.
it was like 11 and a half, 12 hours to Rusty's for us. One time it took us right at 13. I was pulling a big trailer with all our stuff in it at that time. But
he's got a spot for y'all to stay though, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
well he did last time. This time, like that's what we were talking about. Like he's having to build a new house, and usually we stay right there at his house. We stayed in his camper last time. And
I mean, I got a spot y'all can stay if you need to stay. We're just gonna figure out dates, but
okay.
I got a bunch of country between.
Spot.
Yeah, I got a bunch of country between here and Rusty. And I put together a bunch more country.
Okay.
I put together. I got a lot of access to wheat fields today and another 17,000 acres of brush. So,
yeah,
but I don't know how good it is on pigs, but I went and tracked a deer on it, and the guys said you can have it. So
sweet. Yeah, that's
lock up some stuff from Deer Hunter. By God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's hard up here. I got a guy that I tracked for about a month ago. Got 4,500 acres. It's around a bunch of stuff hog hunting here, about 30 minutes away. Hogs. Come get them. You can hunt all you want after deer season. I texted him the other day. Said, hey, just touching base with you, about the hogs. He said, okay, I'll let you know. I haven't heard back from him.
Mm-hmm.
nah, you won't hear back from him probably. You know how many hundreds of thousands of acres I've almost had to hog hunt?
Yeah.
And they say, well, we just don't want the dogs to mess up our deer hunt. I'm like, you hired me to bring dogs out there to chase deer. They're not going to chase deer, but hog dogs ain't going to mess up your deer hunting either. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That's what. Anytime they say something like that, I'm like, I got hog dogs, not deer dogs. I'm like, they're not going to mess with your deer. They better not.
I mean, I'll go track on a 20 or 30,000 acre place, and they hired me to bring dogs out there to track a deer for somebody, like whether it be a TV show or whatever. I'm like, hey, there's a lot of pig tracks in here in these creek bottoms. Can we pig hunt it? Yeah, we'll think about it. And I'll text them back later. I'm like, hey, can we pig hunt that place? No, we don't want to mess up our deer hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the last thing's going to mess up anything to do with a deer is a hog dog out of deer season.
Yeah.
They give zero shits about a deer. They're not going to mess anything up. The deer dogs don't even mess with the deer.
Mm-mm.
Us chasing the deer dogs to the deer that's bayed, and we're bumping deer out of bed that the deer and the dog already ran through that stayed bedded. It still doesn't mess it up.
No.
I'll give them drones a handout here. It proved on a couple that I've tracked in the last 2 years on how many deer that the dog will pass on a wounded deer track.
And they never get out of bed.
And they never even, and the dog looks at him and just keeps on rolling.
You know how many fawns I almost step on in the springtime?
Oh, I ain't no telling.
Right.
They'll be the size of a big rattlesnake. And the dogs will be bait on a herd of pigs 30 yards away and almost step on a fawn. And the doe will be bedded 10 yards away from her, and she don't ever get out of bed until we get there. The dogs do not mess anything up in the woods with the deer or a cow or anything. They just don't. It's animals amongst the woods.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't miss nothing.
The guys, we were rolling down the trail, and the guy's he's like, "Hey, my buddy's gonna thermal drone up." I'm like, "Whatever, I don't give a shit." Well, he's calling the guy, and he's like, "Oh, he's doing this. Oh, he's doing that. Oh, wow, he's gonna go left here." And I'm following him Garmin, so whatever, And he calls, he's like, "Oh, he just jumped a donut fawn." Oh, he didn't chase him. All right, yeah, now he's back nose down. He's trailing again. Blah blah. Oh, there goes three more deer. Okay, no, he's not chasing them. He's gone next one. And then when we found the deer, he was like, "I think I found him." And of course, he's whatever. The Huck rolls in, jumps a deer, and oh fuck, the battery dies, and then we don't get the bay and the kill shot on video.
Of
but
course.
Could he spend his 30-minute battery life on what the dog didn't do wrong?
Oh, so mad. I was
the
like,
dog's battery
"Dude,
didn't run out.
No, weird. The dog didn't
shit,
die.
okay. Shit, I thought you were talking about the dog, man.
Made him in the wide ass open, and I had to sneak. It was probably. I don't know what it was. We had a lot of rain in the spring and blah 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 whatever. We had waist high coastal grass over here, and he bays him out there in the wide open. I'm like, well, this is the one motherfucking thing that drone's good for is out here in this waist high waist high coastal grass. Could have caught this badass bay, but your stupid battery died.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, we got the deer on the tailgate though, and he was shot in the freaking hoof.
Damn.
With a 308. Yeah. I'm talking right above the hoof. That's all it was.
That's crazy.
I'll take an ankle shot deer over a back whack every single day.
That's a fact.
That's a trackable deer every time. But a drone's not going to do it, but a good dog will.
Yep. Oh, damn.
What? 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been at it for a while, fellers. Been at it for a while. Yeah, 2.5. So I'm whatever y'all good with.
To finish on?
Huh? Do what?
Anything good to finish on?
Well, hey, whatever you guys got. One of y'all boys out there got a good sending off story or something? No butthole.
We never did hear Ricardo's numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you're jotting this down.
I got
it. Was fucking 75 out of 113.
I had 112 with 75 found. I wrote 112 instead of 113. I might have mixed it up. I don't know. But
Didn't you keep up with that earlier, Ricky? Between me and you and Bell, we had loaded how many?
I don't know how many.
You never said your total number. You were counting the numbers, but you never just said the total number. And Bell had
my number
69.
I had 97.
90. Oh, you might have did say that.
Yeah, I rattled them off.
Okay.
We were trying to get Michael over 100 because that was like, to us.
I don't know if that's been done.
It's been done in South Texas, I guarantee it. But
yeah, but that's clean. That's clean track game ranch. That's not. That ain't like everybody's grid searching and looking for their deer. And we had our friends come out here today because we couldn't find it last night, and we walked around.
Yeah, that definitely sucks.
Commercial tracking low fence versus high fence. Like, hey, we think we might need a dog. Two completely, totally different things.
Yeah.
We tracked 360 this year. I don't know how many we loaded, but We tracked 360 deer between three of us.
Well, I loaded 90. I loaded 90.
Y'all had 241 loaded. That's what I come up with. That's what y'all put on the tailgate.
A lot of deer. A lot of deer meat.
Mm-hmm.
I bait and shot 45, so that saved the meat on 45 deer.
Yeah. Ricky, how many did you bait
for
and shoot?
baying? I think I only did like 25 this year. Normally I'm 50-50. Like I look back last year and I actually shot more than didn't.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was asking, because I remember you saying that last year.
Yeah, like we were talking before we got on here, and I think I got 55-60% of the deer that we tracked last year, and this year it's like 30%. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was that. I did do earlier on in the season. It was hot, and I was just waiting until the night to go jack with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that probably saved me a handful of bays. But yeah, I don't know. It's shit. Like Michael last year didn't shoot as many as I did, and I tracked less deer or something. You just never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year I shot 31 out of, or 30, it might have been 35 or 30, 31 or 35 out of 81 recoveries. And I'm pretty lean. Like these other boys will tell me like, you're a fucking idiot for going
He goes early a lot more than he should. But
yeah, hell yeah.
He's also got country over there that we don't have.
Yeah, over here is bigger country, bigger ranches. Like, call that neighbor. And if you don't know him, I might know him. Because I do a bunch of like cowboying work over there around that country too, if it's north and west. So if they don't know who it is, I might.
I got you.
So
man, I'll tell you one thing that gets me. They'll have 4,000 acres and they'll hunt on the back fence line every single time.
So I don't even ask how many acres a place is. I say, how far are you from the neighbor's fence? They're like 200 yards. I'm like, who's your neighbor? The Wagner Ranch. You're a dickhead, and I'll call the guy in case we end up over there. We ran that deer this morning 4 miles, and we were getting close to the Wagner, and I called the guy. I said, hey, we're following Woodrow. He's chasing the deer, and he's headed your way. And he's like, all right, cool. Send me a picture of the deer when you get him.
Mm-hmm.
Got him, sent him a picture of the deer. And we were, as a crow flies, we're a mile and a half from where we started. And it was a 4.1 mile track. And he just, like, I don't know how he does what he does, but that's cool. Go get him.
Hell yeah.
And that's in rough cedar country, like up and down, just cedar breaks, like nasty shit. 4 miles in that country is about like 12 miles on flat ground.
Oh yeah, that shit. I can only imagine. Like it's like that here. Like you start going up and down hills, and it's like, God, dog. Just if you look at a map going straight across, it might say it's 1,000 yards straight across. But if you start walking, you literally walk 4,000 yards, up and down the hills and all that stuff, the terrain.
Yeah. Where the tracks that Woodrow made chasing that deer is exactly what it looks like when you just compare it to this deer's being chased by a dog. Doesn't matter if it's a coyote or the dog that you brought. He's being chased by a dog, making the same pattern. He's running foothills, crossing creeks, doubling back, making loops, backtracking, running figure eights, doing all the dumb shit. But when you do that for 4 miles, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Especially when it's figure eights and circles and up and down on top of that. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Damn dog, I know that.
It's hard on the dog. And those dogs, I mean, a dog can only go so many miles in a day.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So that's why I turn down as many calls as I do. The other day, Saturday, when I took the wildebeest and the eland call, before I got the wildebeest call, I turned down 3 whitetail calls because they were low fence, wasn't good, didn't sound worth a shit. Deer's going to show back up on camera. Don't waste your money on me coming out there to prove you wrong. Just save your money. Deer will show back up. And then I got a wildebeest call, and I went and loaded the wildebeest. And when I was still at that ranch, I got a call from another ranch an hour away for the eland, and we went and loaded the eland. So I had enough dog to go load 2 exotics that were worth a hell of a lot more than the whitetail that I knew we weren't going to get. And I turned down the money to go track the whitetail, to go track the 2 exotic calls that I didn't even know I was going to get yet.
Mm-hmm.
I just turned them down because I knew we couldn't get them.
It all worked out for the better too. That's
Worked
a
out
lot
pretty
of
good for
experience too.
worked out for everybody.
Well, I mean, you know what to look for, how to separate, and make a decision. Some people can't.
Gambling them calls, though,
Yeah.
you can't buy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, I mean, I turned down a bunch of calls. I turn down as many calls every year as I take.
Well,
It screws me out of a shitload of money, and it saves my dogs a lot of energy, and it is a bunch of deer that are recoverable. I mean, most of those deer show back up next year, and they can shoot them next year, and they get brand new horns, and they're 20 inches bigger.
hell yeah. That's what I wish all ours would do. Just grow 20 to 40 inches and just get bigger.
Yeah.
Well, we can't get ours to do shit. I can't get ours to do shit. They don't cooperate.
Around here, it depends on where you're at. Like the stuff around like Shackelford County and Baylor County and stuff like that, if you let them grow from 5.5 to 6.5, they'll jump 15 to 20 inches. Where a lot of guys will shoot those deer as nice deer at 4.5,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll say, "We don't have any big deer here." Like, yeah, you're shooting them immature.
I got you.
But if you'll let them grow to 7.5, you'll have 170-inch deer instead of 140-inch deer.
Makes sense.
They just won't do it. And then the other half of the guys will say, well, if I didn't shoot him, my neighbor would have.
Oh, we hear that shit
Well,
all the time.
Yeah, well, you're that neighbor if you do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty strict on what I'll shoot. And as Nate is, Nate's probably worse than I am. I'm sure. Like, we let a lot of stuff walk, and like, it's going to have to be for a management deer. It's going to have to just be something shitty that's 5.5 years old, 4.5 to 5.5, and not what we're even wanting in the program. Okay, that's the management side of things, but it's going to have to be. I mean, I'm not even going to look at him unless he's old. He's got to be old. I want that. Nate shot one yesterday. Was it day before yesterday? That some bitch had one spike on one side. He was broke off on the other side. And that spike was 18 inches long.
That's not a young deer.
No,
I aged him at like 4.5 is what I estimate him to be.
Yeah,
I don't think he broke the 5.5 plus club, but he's definitely mature.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to be in our program. You know, he needs to be.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
So the
I hope
problem
y'all shot
is,
him. I hope y'all shot him for the estrus.
They just started chase like this week, and so that's the most important thing to me is like right now everybody here we're blessed enough to have our own little private spot, and the way we came about it's kind of crazy, but anyway, when we first started there was a bunch of 6 and 7 point shot, and I'm like, boys, what are y'all doing? Like, why are you even spending the money on ammo?
If it's brown, it's down.
Yes. And I think that 1 year, the couple of guys that was in there, I think there was 6 other guys besides me and Nate, 6 or 8, I can't remember. And I think they took 4 does, and all the guys shot bucks that were immature. And then when we wound up taking it over, Nate went to college he's got a degree in wildlife management as well. And so it's like, well, we tried to explain to him, like, well, you can do these few things here. Oh, you can't. Same old shit you hear. Don't shoot your does. They're having the babies. I was like, what is wrong with y'all? So now it's like, if you don't take 5 does off of 800 acres that we have, you can't even shoot a management buck. And you have to shoot a management buck or a cull buck, and you get 1 buck that's in a trophy class, only if you're going to get it mounted. But there's only just a handful of us in it, and it's starting to really pay off. I think this is what our 4th year on it now. And like, there's some nice deer for here. If you get past the 130, 140 inch thing, like you're really doing something. You know what I mean? Without really getting crazy with it. And we're there. Like that's where we're at.
Some of the biggest and best stories I've got are 120 to 30 inch deer that are poorly shot and badass dog tracks, and we make a show of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't do anything for social media, but you take a picture of a 600-yard gut shot deer that's 180 inches, and everybody thinks, God dang, your dogs are good.
Yeah.
No, that I mean, as a 600-yard gut shot deer, wasn't nothing cool about it.
Wasn't spectacular.
Right. Yeah. But that's the difference between guys that look at a photo of a big deer and guys that look at the stats of what a dog did.
Mm-hmm.
You can sort those guys pretty quick.
Yes, sir. Without a doubt.
My counterfeit dogs look so good. We just find big deer, That's why
I need to start.
Boy.
I need to start making Woodrow stand further back. It makes those deer look little.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do something. Start AIing his body down or some shit, because it makes some deer look small.
He does. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I like the 200-yard, 190-inch deer track. That's my claim to fame.
If I track a deer for less than 300 yards, I feel bad about charging them to track their deer. Like, did y'all not walk around and look for it at all? But I like those big tracks.
I like the good tracks. I like the big tracks, but I like to occasionally go 5 minutes and make my money and leave and go to the next one. I will say there's been a many that I'm fucking 2 hours in, and I'm just like, why in the shit am I wasting my time on this deer when I told him the deer wasn't dead? And I'm like, this is retarded. And then, oh, I don't know.
I think the coolest week that I had in my deer tracking career was load 18 deer in 7 days, and everything was 600 yards to, I don't know, it wasn't far. It was like all 6 to 1,200 yard tracks, and everything was dead, and we were just banging them out. Like, one day I tracked 6 deer, And then the next day I'll track 1. And then the next day I'll track 1. And the next day I'll track 3. And the next day I'll track 4. And the next day I'll track 1. We had 1 week of dead deer, and it wasn't shit. And Woodrow was never on the ground for more than like 12 minutes on any of them.
Damn.
It was badass.
That was that highlight reels, but they fucking put numbers on the truck.
Well, I mean, like that track that I did where Pigman was hunting on that. They just showed up to hunt on that ranch, and Pigman was there with his camera crew to hunt the next morning. They were like, "You care if we film this?" I was like, "Film it. I don't know what you're gonna film, but film it." And it was like 5 minutes and 20 seconds, and Woodrow was chewing on the deer. But they did film it with a thermal and with the cameraman. He followed me along when we were following Woodrow's tracks. But it was like 5 minutes. He was chewing on the deer. And Pigman said, "That's about the best fucking shit I've ever seen. Y'all get all of his information. We're going to put it on the TV show."
Here we go. Big timing.
No, that's not big timing it. I've tracked some like good tracks for Drury Outdoors and shit like that are.
Hell yeah.
And they don't put you on shit. They'll barely. We found one for Jury last year over here, and which I'm happy. Whatever, it was cool. Got to see the dog or whatever, but don't show an eighth of what went into it. It's like a pretty big portion of this whole damn deer being on the tailgate was the dog, but okay, I guess we'll just pretend like that was a minor aspect to this deer getting found, but whatever.
Right. Yeah, I don't know that Drury's put me on anything that they've done, but I don't give a shit. I go to track the deer. I don't go to be on TV. I filmed a bunch of TV shows with hog hunts and shit like that, and some of it's pretty decent. Most of it's pretty stupid.
I tracked for probably 2 of the top guys in the industry, and they didn't put me on a damn thing. I was on Bone Collector TV for about 3 seconds.
Dude, hold on. Can you like even say about that track? Are they like fucking being dumb about it? I mean,
you didn't have to sign
the NDA.
Tell me
no. No, they didn't tell me no.
Tell us about the Blake Shelton track.
Yeah, tell us about it, Bill.
It was about 9. It's kind of weird how it happened. My wife had just cooked dinner, and it was, I don't know. It was kind of late, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I get a call from a guy asking me about track, and it's over here about 30 minutes from me, and it's like one of them tracks that it's like, it was too good for me to turn down. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take it. And then it's kind of like a guts hanging deal, you know. I was like, all right, I'll take it. He was like, but we don't want no one to know about it. I was like, what do you mean? He said, well, it's for Michael Waddell and Blake Shelton. I was like, okay. And I was like, is it illegal? He said, no. I said, well, why are we not telling people? I think he was just trying to fill me out on making sure I wasn't a weirdo. And he said, hold on, I'll call you back. And about 5 minutes later, I get a phone call. It was Michael Waddell. Blake had shot the deer, but Michael Waddell called me. And he said, we heard you're the best around here. And I was like, well, I don't know about that. You know, we talked, and I agreed to go that night. And when I got over there, I met them all, man. It was awesome. It was a cool experience. They had a chef there, cooked us dinner. Like they had dinner waiting on me to get there. We sat down at a table, ate. And they were cool. I drive my little tracking truck is a single cab Toyota, so there's not very much room in it. And whenever we got done eating, we're gonna head out. to where he had shot the deer. Blake Shelton, can I ride with you? I was like, yeah. This is kind of small, man. He got my Toyota with his knees up to the dash. Everybody was drinking, having a good time. They was, you know. And, we got there. I'll never forget. We pulled up on two. I don't know how big they were, but huge, low fence elk standing on his deer feeder. When we pulled up, and I was in awe because low fence Oklahoma elk, like, and these were two giants. And he was like, "Oh yeah, they tear up my corn feeders all the time." Anyways, there were several guys. There's 5, 6 guys there, 4, 5. The crew, the video crew, everything. And I kind of told them how it was going to work. And Blake was like, "Well, let's just let everybody stand back. Me and you will go find the deer, and then everybody will come in." Well, we started the track, and it started fast. I knew it was going to go fast. About 500 yards, we crossed a creek, and a deep creek, actually cold too. Was about, I don't know. Well, I say deep. It was about knee deep. We had to wade across it. And Gypsy found him up on top of the hill, dead. And Blake was so excited. It was a big deer, and Blake was so excited. I'll never forget. He just picked me up and started kissing me on the cheek. My feet were dangling. and he started yelling. And there was a joke. I won't repeat the joke on here, but there was a joke that Michael Waddell had told at the dinner table, and it had to do the main chorus of the joke was chi 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 chi, like a chant, like chanting chi chi, and that's the whole subject's a long story. But whenever he yelled out, "We found him!" he yelled, and everybody, Michael Waddell and all the crew started coming up the hill a lot, just going chi 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 chi, like the whole woods were just echoing, man. And they were cool. The video crew gets up there. And they video. And I've tracked for a few television stuff, and they don't really care to put you in it, you know, which I get it. That's business. Someone like Blake can't be saying, you know, somebody shot a deer or whatever, even though it happens to everybody. Well, Blake made it about me. Like, Blake was like, stopped everybody and was like, "This is the reason we have," you know. So anyways, I thought that was really cool, man. They were nice. We went back to the camp. Fast forward a few weeks later, they post the video out, or they post a picture. They posted the picture that I'm in. They took one picture of all of us and they cropped me out.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's business, you know. I get it, whatever. About a week later, the video comes out on Bone Collector. My whole family comes over because I live here on my parents' property. They live down the road from me. I told them, I said, "Hey, y'all come over. Let's watch this." They come over, and at the very end, they just have me in the picture with Blake for about 3 seconds. And that's my claim to fame. But, you know, and they posted the picture, and a lot of local people commenting on it. "Why don't you give the dog, you know?" I was like, guys, I mean, that's just business. Like, I texted several of my friends that got on there. I was like, we're not doing that, you know. They didn't post me. I get it. Like, if I didn't know what I knew about dogs and got shot one, I probably wouldn't want everybody knowing about it neither. You know? Well, even though it's not that big a deal to us, but the people on mainstream would be like, "Oh, he'd have been on the news."
Yeah, they catch a lot of flack. I mean, for just the slightest thing, it seems like, you know, there's so much scrutiny. You know, it's, you know, Pigman, you know, he's run hog dogs, and used to every now and then you get a good video. When's the last time you seen him with a dog in a video? You know, it's one of those things. I guess they just, I don't know.
I mean, the next time I assume is going to be my dog, but it didn't have a damn thing to do with Pigman because it wasn't his hunt or nothing. He just had his camera crew there.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy. That
ain't the point. Like, you give credit where credit's due. As a hunter, it doesn't matter. I mean, everybody has misplaced shots.
Yep.
It's going to happen. I tracked for a bunch of TV shows. Shitload of just regular hunters. I mean, if you're shooting over 25 yards with a bow, you can't help what the deer does with it when the arrow's in flight. They spin, they duck, they do all kinds of dumb shit, and you're going to hit 6 inches to a foot from where you wanted to shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about those guys,
you don't have a choice on that. I mean, it's just anything over 25 yards, the deer's going to react. 99% of the time. And Ricky tracks more archery shot deer than any of us. But I'll bet most of his tracks are 25 yards plus. Because the reaction of the deer and the flight of the arrow, they're going to do some shit, and you're not going to hit them where you were aiming. People will say, well, you need a target practice. Target doesn't move, though.
Yeah, exactly. Target does not move.
Target don't move. You can aim where you want to, and you're going to smoke it if it stands still. Shoot at a live animal. It's going to move. All it's got to do is flinch, and you'll hit 6 inches off of where you were wanting to, and your exit's going to be 2 feet from where you wanted it to be because they're going to bend.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do nothing about it.
I tracked this one this year. Shot twice with a rifle, smoked him both times. And 3.5 miles later, he had his hoof blown off once.
Mm-hmm.
A rifle at 100 yards. I'm like, the math isn't mathing here. Did you hit a tree with it? I mean, something happened.
Yeah, it happens.
They always say they smoked him and they shot him right behind the shoulder. Why are you calling me that?
Yeah, that
right in the pump house.
Yeah, right in the pump house.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, that first track we went on was like, bro, there's more white hair here than there is on the deer. He said, no, I seen it. It was perfect. He said, it's as good a shot as you could get. And then the longer I talked to him, he was like, well, it could have been. It was pretty dark. It was a little low. I was like, then I seen where he was at and where the deer was at. And I was like, that's a very, very steep angle as well. He's like, I wouldn't think about all that. And then after about 10 minutes, he was like, shit, that deer, I don't know. I was like, yeah. But it showed back up on camera. So, but it sounds like y'all had a good season overall, though, man.
Pretty good. Yeah.
It was a good year. It was more for me. It's getting to where I'm at, where I've got kiddos and stuff. It's kind of harder to take as many tracks as I want to, but still was the best year that I've ever done. And I think same goes for them too. And I think it's attributed to, I don't think it was like a year that people wounded more deer. I think it's just finally becoming more of a common knowledge that dogs can find deer. And if you want to take a deer home and you made a questionable shot, then call us. And I think I think it's going to get, I mean, from the time that I started, whenever it was, to now, every year I've tracked 10 to 20 more deer every year. And I think it's just coming to fruition that people are realizing that what the dogs are capable of, and that it's pretty, it's pretty successful if you've made a shot that's mortal, and I think it'll get more important.
I'm probably going to regret saying this. A lot of it has to do with the marketing and your pictures. And like, I'm not saying it's not the dogs. Like, our name gets out there. Like, people know who finds deer. But, and you take your pictures and you get, deer hunters like to see stuff like that. They like, every big time deer hunter props up and takes good pictures, Us three do that with the deer with our dogs. I think it's just crazy how much more it puts all the new people who talk to me, they're like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "Well, you need to market a little better. That's what you need to do."
Yeah, that makes sense.
And maybe that's wrong, but and I'm telling you, it helps with calls. I mean, some guy who doesn't know you from another guy, if I got a better picture holding the deer out front, propped up, and a guy holding his head up, standing up in the air with his guts hanging out, they're gonna call me right off the bat. I'm telling you. You know.
Yeah. You want me to
sucks.
You want me to kick in on that, Bill?
Yeah.
I think like the big deer exposure helps a lot. Like Ricky tracks bigger deer than anybody else. For sure, hands down, bigger deer in the state. 100%. And there's guys out there that think, for some reason, they think, and they do it to me, they do it to you, they do it to Ricky. The bigger the deer, they think, oh my God, your dog's a badass because he loaded a 190-inch free-range deer, which has absolutely nothing to do with anything other than you were called to track a big deer.
I see it every year in Oklahoma. Some new guy,
Right.
well, his buddy will shoot a 180, 190, and he'll go find it for him. And then for the next 2 weeks, he'll just be slammed with traps.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because people think
the guy doesn't know anything.
Because they stepped across it and were like, oh shit, here he is, because we walked around a bunch and we found your deer after we've been walking around for 2 hours. But that's not my point. My point is, if you take, say, you got a guy that's got a good dog, like a sure enough finished dog that'll go track your deer, and he'll go track it. It doesn't matter if it's 600 yards, 3 miles, whatever, and go load your deer. Doesn't matter how big the deer is. What matters is what the dog did with the deer, and you got your deer loaded. But then you'll have guys they'll walk around in 500-yard circle and say, oh, your deer's probably still alive. He'll show back up on the camera. So pay me X amount of dollars for showing up. They don't get your deer loaded. And you'll be laying there 200 yards away dead because their yard dogs don't have a damn clue what they're doing at all. And it happens a lot. It's stupid. Bone on the ground. I've got guys that call me. We had bone on the ground. We had some other guys that were closer and they get here sooner, and we didn't get the deer loaded. Like, yeah, because they don't have deer dogs. They have dogs, but I'd be better off taking my hog dogs out there to track your deer. And I'd never do that. I'd tell you to call somebody that has deer dogs. I've got hog dogs and deer dogs. I've got people that call me for mountain lions. They're like, hey, I got a mountain lion on the ranch. You want to come track it? I don't have a lion dog. Call somebody with a lion dog.
Yeah, I mean,
can't help you.
I got a lioness dog.
Yeah, I mean,
I got one for sure.
Yeah.
Promise you.
Can't help you. If you got a lad that retrieves ducks and points birds, and then your buddy calls you to track a deer.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
Well, doesn't make any sense at all.
Bunch of damn labs this year. I don't know why, but I feel like I had a handful of fucking. We had our buddies, German short hair come out. Okay, cool. Party go. I don't know, about 50 yards. All right, cool. I don't know how many bird dogs we had come out this year that we followed up, but it was a bunch, boy.
I always say, why do you have him out there? And they're like, well, I didn't know what else to do. I'll say, how many deer has he found? They'll say, none. I'm like, so why'd you have him out there? And then they're like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's we've run into that too. Like I said, we're not professional trackers by any means. We go help somebody out, and we've had some dogs that'll stumble across a deer every now and then. But if it's somebody who's if I get there, like you said, I ask a lot of questions too. If I don't think I can find it, I'm just like, I don't think we can find it. Like, save your money, or call somebody with a deer dog,
or call somebody that's got a dog that can recover your deer.
Yeah, I've told people, I've given them other guys' names. I'm like, hey, you want to get a hold of this guy because like it sounds like it's a true trophy deer, and it's going to be a really hard track. That's different than when I've got a pup that I'm starting because I don't have a finished dog. I'm not going to go do that.
If you got bone on the ground, it's going to be a live deer and it's going to run like a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got a pup that you want to start, that is not at all what you want to put him on.
No.
But you can have a guy, you can call a guy that's got a deer dog, a real deer dog, to go track the deer and bay it, and you shoot it, and you leave the deer laying. And then you put your puppy on it and say, we'll walk around to where we don't mess the track up or anything. You can let your pup run that track. Yep. If your pup tracks that deer all the way to his bed where we killed him, then hell yeah, that pup's doing good.
We did that the other day. Nate had shot one, and we let one pup go in there and track it. We found it. We pulled that one out. We walked around the opposite direction, swung out wide, went and got another pup, put it on the track. Just you can utilize certain things.
Leave it a clean track.
Yep.
100%.
So
the only way to do it.
That's right.
How you train dogs. How you train puppies.
Ricky, we at 3:15 on this one, baby.
Boys, I appreciate y'all coming on. I enjoyed it. It was long overdue. We were talking about doing a monthly deal, and then deer season hit, and I ain't heard from nobody in 3 months. We've just been busy, so it's good. It's good. We'll have to get back on and talk hogs here soon. But I appreciate y'all coming on.
Yeah, boys.
All right.
Awesome.
We appreciate it.
All right, boys.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right, we'll see.
Y'all be good. See ya.
See y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you, man. All right, bye. Oh, there you go. That's a good one. That was a pretty long one there. That's Don't Run with Lite Hounds. First one of 2026. And looks like we're off to a good start, good recap. We appreciate y'all staying with us. Got another full year lined up for everybody. We're going to just continue growing, doing what we've been doing. And as my little buddy Ryan Rankin likes to say, to the moon. That's where we're going. Y'all check us out. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that episode. If there's anything or anyone you'd like to hear on the podcast, or if you'd like to come hunt with us, don't hesitate to contact us at dixiedoggers01@gmail.com.